we'll have to talk about lineups and all of that in just a bit, because I apologize. We're already in it. So while we're going through this first race, Spain and Mexico, we've gotten deep intel. I'm telling you guys, deep intel. And it is looking pretty, like, I don't know. I've heard things about Spain, right? I've heard things about Spain being the slight favorites here. But talk us through maybe, Josh, what your impressions here on the match. I mean, last World Cup for Mexico, they had an insane showing, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Fair enough.
I feel like Mexico doesn't get enough credit that they deserve.
Yeah.
They've consistently been one of the most consistent teams in like World Cup history, at least in Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I think one of the things that's at least scares me a lot about Spain here is that, you know, group stage, they pull off a huge win on England. That's how they actually end up avoiding France in the quarterfinal stage. And so we're going to have our eyes out here, at least on Spike going into lap 3 on Bowser's Castle. Spain in a lot of bottom spots to start this one off. And holding the blue shell.
But it does mean they're first. Pack's too close for a shock right now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Spain has to be at least top 2 if we were holding this blue.
Mm-hmm.
This is honestly probably best case scenario for Mexico right
Yeah,
here.
it's hard to imagine Mexico getting like shambles spots here. We'll see what the case is if the results do load in here.
I think it was like a 1-4 for like Spain. I think Mexico got everything else.
Yeah.
1-3.
1-3 being the
1-3, 8, 9, 12 for Spain.
1-3, 8, 9, 12. There's got to be one more, right? We missed one there. 1-3, 8, 9, 12.
1-3.
That's only 5 players.
Oh wait, did I miss something?
Oh my God, Marlon!
Wait, 1-3, 8, 9, 12. Oh, that is 5.
You are killing me. You are killing me right now.
Sheesh.
We will get Josh in here and technical difficulties sorted out. Josh, I apologize. But in the meantime, Marlon, I'll leave it to you to talk us through more about this Mexico roster, who has gotten off to solid start here.
Yeah.
You being more familiar with a lot of the Mexico roster. What are your thoughts on this Mexican side as they're eyeing these semifinals? I believe the winner of this goes on to play Japan, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's like, I wouldn't say discrediting Mexico, but I feel like a lot of people just don't understand how like the chemistry that this Mexican team has. I think a lot of these players have played together in the past. I know Chibi was a part of FA, Ghost was a part of FA at one point, Corey used to play with FA for a good bit of time. So there's synergy between all of them, and I know they all used to play together in Dawn. So chemistry-wise, chemistry is very important when it comes to a game like this because items are very important and properly knowing how to space. I think Mexico is better in that sense of team play or team chemistry.
For sure. We'll be starting off here on Dolphin Shoals. I'll leave you to it for now, Marlon, while we get things sorted here.
Yeah. Definitely a Mexico track pick. I think they had 2, 4, 5, something. Definitely drafty, and we see they are top 2 right now, maybe 1-3-ish. But yeah, Dolphin Shoals being a track where ideally at the start you just want to get drafts and just try to get them to the front. Don't see anybody hard bagging for builds. Usually there's 2 build strats or build extensions on this track that are just really stupidly busted. But yeah, Mexico in first right now. Canosa holding it down. We do see Spike with the double res, and Spain is literally everything right behind Canosa. So 2-3-4 right now for Spain. Canosa's definitely getting redded out here. Nothing to do about that. Or holy crap, is he a god? He broke the red on a banana. Oh my god. Okay, that's actually massive. So Mexico, Canosa still holding down first. Spain is literally everything behind him. We do see a couple of baggers in the back. We see a blue shell coming in. Ooh, that's just super unlucky. Well, not unlucky, but see Spike going down with the red. Blue coming in for Canoso. I believe I saw at least another. Ooh, nice horn actually. Doesn't seem to be a shocking play. It probably would have happened now if there were.
Shock and play. As soon as you say it, 2 stars coming in. I'm not quite sure who is in the thick of it here. It seems like a mixture of Mexico and Spain dodging at least in the middle of the pack. And so far, we only see Spike in the back here. Mexico crawling back, though. I think they have a good grip on, well, a bad grip, if you will, on some of the bottom spots here. But we'll see what it ends up turning out. Looks like
I think that's a really good race for Mexico.
Yeah, still. They had like 3 of the bottom 5 spots, but still end up getting up there, yeah.
1, 4, 5, 9, 10, 12.
Mm-hmm.
Not a terrible race. Curious to who Shock it was. We couldn't really tell because both teams kind of had a dodger. Oh, no, you're fine.
First race is 40 to 42. They can do it. And this one will be. It's a tie game.
So it's all tied up after 2?
Yep.
And this is honestly what I expected from this match. Just a close match throughout the entire. I see this one going to game 3. I don't think anybody else would disagree with that. Curious to see what kind of lineup changes we do. See if we do get the 3rd game or 2nd game. Oh, we'll see a 2nd game, obviously. Do see High Road Circuit. Very hard running track. See Mexico top 2 right now, or it's so laggy. Alright, so Spain's definitely first, unless Chibi gets a draft. I think Chibi drafted in first. He trails out Spain, so now we have Chibi in first. Chibi's a hard runner, but he gets hit out. And Spike goes down 2 actually, which is really kind of just spammy. Spike now with these shrooms, just trying to catch up, trying to keep an eye on who's gonna last.
Great question. That's a great question. And if I am not mistaken, well, I believe we'll be running it as is. 3rd race. Appreciate your patience for the technical difficulties. And I mean, this match so far turning out to be everything we thought it would.
Yeah, really good match to have.
Mm-hmm. Spike, we've seen in generally, like, you know, chilling in mid-bottom spots, right?
Yeah, just mid spots mostly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see if he maybe aspires for something more here. Lap 3 as it approaches. Just get a couple of shrooms, make that 3 more. Fireball will be a little bit difficult to avoid there in Mexico's hands as it does take out one of their teammates to the right of him. It will be...
Yeah.
Fair enough for them, though.
Just about to mention was literally the last 2 bottom 2 Waluigi's. Neither of them used an item for like the last entire lap. So I knew there was definitely a shocking play.
Jesus. I have a feeling that might have been a Mexico shock just from the... Well, I don't know. There's a lot of Spain up here in the mid spots too, but it just seemed like... I don't know. We haven't seen top 2 in a minute, and I feel like they have a firm grip on the result of this race, but it's been all Spain all day in these 7, 8, 9, 10 spots, and it should be...
I think that's a huge Mexico
That
win.
is a huge... Has to be.
Yeah,
top 4. Top 4.
Top 4, 10, 12.
Jesus. And that will be another big... Well, the first big race, really, I should say.
Yeah.
Coming in here. And, I mean, how do you respond is a question for Spain, which is a great and always challenging question in these times. But so far, I mean, the damage isn't surprisingly, you know, I feel like when I look at a top 4 in Mario Kart Tour, I'm thinking, okay, that's like devastating. And when I see a top 4 in Mario Kart Wii, I'm like, okay, that's devastating. We only see a minus 18 so far from what I am able to see, at least overall, between the 2 teams. So nothing too damaging yet. Moving on to our favorite track to look at the mini-map on at least. The same track that, for any of you Mario Kart 8 faithful out there, you tuned into USA versus Germany last weekend. That Game 3 match, that hell of a set, came to a conclusion here. We'll see how it pans out for our players here in what was sure to be a pretty important race here. I think this really starts setting up the momentum of the war. If Mexico is able to build on this lead and make this like a plus 35, plus 40, that's way different than obviously being able to respond back, reset spots, and get a neutral race or a winning race for your team. But of course, they're gonna have to do that on a course where you don't really benefit from having top 4 as much, with all of the Waluigis in the mini map just sitting in the back of the course, and of course, Spike will be one of them.
So this race comes down to whoever gets shocked. Mm-hmm. Whoever gets shocked, super early on, you probably won't see a lap 1 shock. You'll probably see it toward near the middle of lap 2, usually where the ideal shock usually happens, or at the end. But it comes down to who gets shocked. 3 bills in play right now, blue shell in play. Very fitting grounds for somebody to have shock. And we do see Mexico with shock right now, actually.
Well, that'll be them getting knocked out, at least from contention from getting shocked for now, but we'll be going for more here, and hopefully we'll see if they can mess up Mexico some further. Of course, it's lap 2, plenty more action to come on this course, and I'm sure Spike eyeing surely a shock maybe for their team, as he's the only team member, but it will be a shock coming in. Again, not quite sure as to who exactly.
I think it was a Mexico shock.
Yeah, it would
Mexico
make sense.
dodged the first shock with a second shock.
Yeah. We'll be fine here, at least for Spike, and we'll be able to carry a bill. Opts to go ahead and spam it, and why not get in before the next item set? And make sure you're
probably not the item you want in that situation.
Right,
but
exactly.
You still get an item here, and you golden up.
Yeah, you definitely just whip it. It's their lap. Spike, what can you do? Apparently the answer is not much for now, but the pack is, of course, much tighter as it normally is on lap 3 here. Star to chain.
Ooh, it's a terrible box.
Terrible box, but we don't see a lot of spin back here at all. And we'll see how Mexico are able to maybe turn the tides here if they're able to come back up with these shroom power items at the end. A star chain into just a single shroom again here for Spike here. We'll be able to take the cut with it and add some boost to the end of his run there, but
exactly what they need.
Not a lot of Spanish flags I see in the back.
Yeah, top 3.
Top 3, 5, 8, and 10. Kind of the response you wanted to see if you're...
Yeah, especially with that track pick, that's exactly what the result you wanted.
Exactly.
That's how you answer back after top 4.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I said top 3, 5, 8, 10, but it was 11, right? Question mark.
Was it 11?
Twitch rat, help! Help! Yep, and after 4 races, don't believe the lies you see on the screen. It is quite only 4 races, going on to race 5 now. We have a tie ball game. Just kidding, not tie. +4 differential for Spain. Don't have my glasses on today. It's a sunny day in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're broadcasting from, but we're, wherever you are in the world, hoping you're having a great weekend. Today's Sunday, right? Please tell me it's Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Jesus, okay.
I hope so.
Otherwise,
I have to be at work.
I'm going insane. I can't do this anymore. All right. 5th race. And now Spain looking to convert. They got their track pick here. Mexico didn't. Will Spain be able to capitalize on what is the first opportunity for a team with top spots to really convert on them? Well, the second, I guess. We'll see if it's the first time it's well executed.
Ideally, Spain's just planning to hold this top 3 that I had.
Right.
I think if you make it through the first turn and you do the appropriate strats, it's very hard to lose a top 3 on that. Because you get to this part around here, and usually you're just drafting off each other and kind of gives you somewhat of a breakaway.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mexico scheming, of course, as the pack starts to slowly drift away, maybe. Although most of them will get shrooms and keep this pack nice and tight. Nobody really getting hit too much, which I feel like is generally the staple on this course.
Especially around this turn. We see triple greens, and this is where all the fire flowers and nonsense starts to happen.
Yeah, man. You see some of that pack start separating just a bit from that alone. But, the back ring connecting very well on Spike there, of course. Mexico seeing
Spain is still 100% top 2 right now.
Yeah, right. Although we did see a Waluigi get knocked out. There was top 3 kind of knit together. Now it's only a top 2. You have to wonder how it's holding up there, especially with Spain kind of getting knocked back here, it seems. I would reckon, with Shock coming in, maybe it will be Mexico moving up and Spain in bottom spots now.
I think that was a Spain Shock.
Okay.
I'm almost certain that was a Spain Shock.
Okay. Well, that pack is not really too far wide here. Lap 3 coming in. And it will be chaos for the remainder of it. Fireballs do come out just ahead of Spike there. Won't be able to avoid it just yet.
Spain kind of a decent amount of bottom spots right here.
Yeah, it's tough to see. I mean, I think, like, given that, you know, they just had the nice race, might be fine. We haven't had a glimpse into those top spots just yet. And maybe they are able to salvage this race. But from what we're able to see with Spike moving up at the last second.
Angel getting kind of destroyed there.
Yeah.
Kind of unfortunate.
Mexico getting 5, 7, 8. Well, what will it be to finish it off? Ooh,
wow.
top.
Mexico
oh, my
shot.
God.
Really? Wow.
That's a
top 3, 5,
4, 6, bottom 4 for
Jeez.
Spain. These big back and forth swings, neither team able to capitalize on, what are their track picks to really rightfully do so on.
I'm confused because when Spike was in the back, I didn't even see Mexico with Shock, so. But I guess they capitalized off of that.
Yeah.
And if you're Spain, that's not ideally what you wanted after you're getting your track pick.
Yeah,
with
they
top 3 on Wario Stadium.
They faced their biggest deficit of the war so far.
Let's go Mexico. Vamos.
Vamos. I mean, you know, it's vamos really for both. Like, I feel like in saying like vamos for Mexico, it's like generally against like a different language country, and it's like, oh yeah, that's hype. But now it's like I want both of them speak Spanish, so it's kind of have to add to Mexico after it. Anyway, race 6 as we approach it, and it will be a decent place for Spike to start off. How will the opening wreckage look here? Is it, you know, generally, like the last race, it generally tends to separate around here just a bit. You do see a little bit of bumping there, but what are your keys as we expect from Spike here? I mean, he's been playing in the back, but he has a great opportunity to move in the front now.
Yeah, especially with his red shell, he's able to get a draft and definitely hit some people out. Don't think he executed the plan properly, as Mexico is still top 3 on a track like Dunk or DK Jungle, hard runner. We have been seeing a decent amount of shocks. Ooh, huge play here with the bomb. Gets, wow, okay. Spike just cruises his way into first, and we do see a Spain top 2.
Yeah, why not?
So you hit him with the green shell, and he sniped the other guy with the bomb. And I would assume that, I think it was Drac in second. I think Drac had triple greens and just kind of destroyed everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a hell of a start here for Spike. Nothing too concerning here. I mean, I feel like the only thing that could really stop him at this point is a blue shell. But, of course, the effect of the shock here can be rather devastating,
blue
especially
coming
after
in,
the ramp. Yep, blue shell will be coming in. Right on cue, the caster curse as usual. Just have a bomb in first, of course, for that protection. We'll have to keep an eye out on behind him. Who exactly is it? Mexico, sure.
Mexico in second. He's going to have to use the bomb to break
Yeah, and I think maybe connecting. We did see a Mexico member right behind him, but no longer behind.
I think he read it. So Spain top 2 right now.
Gotcha, yeah. Well, maybe they can hold on for dear life here. This is an important race to be able to stop the bleeding, as you might say.
Another blue shot coming in from last. The guy in last had a ghost, and he took a blue. So this is very interesting. I doubt there's a shock right now. Otherwise, it will happen now.
We'll have to make sure that this doesn't collide with his teammate here. This will be rather difficult. Yeah, go wide if possible to let your teammate take the tight line and have smooth sailing. You do have another bomb as well if you can get that off. But your teammate right behind, what will he do about it? No, they end up getting
top
messed
5
up.
for Spain.
Top
I don't think there's a shock either.
5.
Yeah, this is a really good race for Spain.
My God. And Spain. They're just both of these teams having the responses they need in every single situation.
Top 6.
Top 6. Woo! That's heat. That's heat. And I think we're back to like a single-digit game now.
So funny about this is that Wario Stadium was Spain's track pick,
Yeah.
and Mexico got like top 3, and they answered back by picking DK Jungle to hard run, and they got top 6.
Jesus. Like, none of them. They just can't win on a course selection. Like, I feel like at this point, if you have top 6, just go like Excite Bike. Just run it.
Track picks are not
Nothing's
working.
working. Well, what do you pick if your team's Spain here? Still go with the
PPS is interesting.
How
I
so?
think it's very drafty track, which is ideally
sure.
what you want from the beginning.
Yeah, right. Top
Kinda just,
spots.
Yeah. I don't know what I would pick in top 6. I don't know what my team usually picks in top 6.
Well, they're gonna get it.
I think Wario Stadium. Duh.
It's gonna be a winning team. Oh yeah. It's gonna be the 4th time a winning team, and winning by a lot, will have an opportunity at extending their lead. And maybe the 4th time that we don't see it happen again. Spain looking to capitalize. Of course, Spike very much used to playing the mid spot role, comfortably held a first place position. I wonder where he'll end up here after the first 20 or 30 seconds. You'll look towards those 5 and 6 spots to really slow down Mexico if possible, but these drafts, as you said, will come in
Drafts are way
huge.
too important.
Yeah.
One thing about this game is the importance of spacing, and proper spacing allows for things like this to happen. And I think we do see Spain kind of getting rolled a little bit. So right now we have a Spain top 2-ish. After this cut, definitely top 2.
I apologize. I must have missed something. Something must have gone wrong here. But I think we have a different score from what's actually on our scoreboard here. And it looks like Spain is indeed in the lead by a fine margin. We are in, indeed, race 7, as it is. But Spain with a 18-point lead. We'll see if they can grow it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Winning first with this bomb. Trying to play some... Just trying to space out Spike by trailing. Having Kevo behind him with this boomerang is actually really good. 2 Waluigi's in dead last. One thing I'm like finding interesting about this war is that the amount of... I think we've seen 3 or 4 shocks. Kind of hard to tell who's using the shocks though, but from what it seems, whoever uses the shock usually wins the race. So I'm curious to see if anybody gets shocked this race.
We'll find out if it ever comes into play here. It can seem pretty elusive sometimes. Udrak can get taken out there. And Spain in 3-4.
Mexico's still top 2.
Top 2, yeah. They're going to keep their eyes on maybe getting their way into it. But what will it be here?
Angel probably could sneak something if he has a shroom. He could probably sneak second. Unless they just have shock and they just use it here.
And I believe that pack is looking mighty fine. And pack, will the shock come in at the last second?
Ooh,
the answer
Angel
seems to be
plays.
no. Red does not connect. I think it lands on a banana just behind. Unintentionally avoids the fireballs just barely.
I think that's a 2-4-5 for Spain.
Mm-hmm. 2-5?
Oh, wow, no. 2-5,
7 through 10. Okay, why not?
Oh yeah, Spain's definitely up. I'm
Spain
just looking at scores now.
massively up. But, I mean, that race won't be the most devastating, of course. And so, we're back to the drawing board. Again, what will it be here? Score now being approximately... have it in a second. 293 to 281, so nothing too
Spain's
big.
up 12.
Spain up 12.
12 is
yeah.
literally like best case scenario right now for Mexico.
Yeah. So, I know we talked about, you know, some of the players we're looking out for in general, or at least briefly. You talked about Cora being one of those players.
Yeah. So Cora historically, Cora plays for Arcadia.
And I believe his name here is Lasses? Question mark. I don't think I saw Cora there. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Trying to see.
Speak to
Cora's
Mike.
historically been a pretty decent player over time. He plays for Arcadia. Arcadia is arguably one of the better teams in the game right now.
Right.
And from the times I've played with Cora, he's a pretty solid pack player, but he can also run as well.
Yeah.
I think Mexico has better runners than Cora, but Cora's job, at least in this lineup, is to kind of just cause a disturbance.
Right, and I think that's exactly the role he's looking to fit here. So, I mean, obviously, all the players in the recipe that is a team being important to the mix that leads to the win. And for Mexico, at least, we'll hope that Kevo can hold out a little group of Spaniards here as everyone seems to be approaching the cut. Not getting the shortcut that he would have desired there. Is Spike.
Okay, score is definitely Lasses. I see what you mean now.
Yeah. Lass is playing that pack role, as you said. Let's see if he gets any useful items. Yep, that's the triple green. So we'll see how successful he is this time. Triple greens to
challenge him.
1v1 and challenge Lasses, yeah. That's heat.
That's actually
nice,
yeah. That's really good.
He's not going to be able to prove successful there in his attempts at defending his teammates. Blue Shell will come in. I believe is that a Mexico top 3 right now?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
plus.
first. Chibi's
Getting knocked out, though. I think that was that? I think green? I don't know. Shell here looking threatening. Won't be able to take the shortcut, of course, but we'll try to make some havoc either way. And play his own role at slowing down the remaining team going into lap 3 here.
I wonder if very curious to see if he stops for Shock here.
Yeah.
Shock's not really super common on this track unless you're like intentionally trying the bag.
Well,
but
we'll see if the shot comes out. Of course, it can be pretty lethal at the ending part of the
I
race.
think Chibi's holding blue, so Mexico's definitely first right now.
Yeah. Triple Shrooms coming in. We'll try to be coming on up, but you have to know that everyone else is thinking the same thing with probably the same item. Has to go wide to avoid the bananas and still get the double box, but unfortunately will get 2 shrooms that he has to hold on to. Won't be able to benefit from the boo. Everyone taking the guts. Oh, nice. Going to be able to get rid of Mexico there, send them down to
I think Mexico
9 and
only
10.
got first.
First, third.
Okay, not bad.
Okay, yeah, they're chilling. 2, 4,
2, 4,
5,
5.
7. Jesus.
Scores go too fast in this game.
They do. It's just, and you know what? It's insane. Tor is even faster.
Is it?
It's insane.
Huh.
Yeah. Or at least I think it's like it's not faster realistically, but because players take screenshots in that game and it like freezes the screen on your phone, you have like less time as a producer to actually get the scores down. It's insane.
Thankfully, we have the screenshots feature in this game. So
yeah.
The scores in this game are too fast, at least in terms of trying to get like track spots.
Right.
Insanely fast.
Well, that's 8 races done, Marlon, and we still have Spain in the lead here. And I know we talked, a little bit about favorites.
Mexico's going to win.
Mexico's going to win. You got them?
Yeah. Mexico's going to come back.
Vegas odds on that. I don't know about the Vegas odds on it, but there is a case to be made for it. Bowser's Castle on one end. Will it pick Mexico's pick? Yes, it will.
Very interested by this pick. Ideally.
Yeah, because they end up having to rely on like that first place they end up getting really, and hope they can hold it with the support from their few players behind them. Let's see how it goes here. It's Spike, 8th place, doesn't get the item box unfortunately, and of course, yeah, that's going to send you back to the back.
One thing I want to see from Mexico, I know we saw it last race, is Chibi kind of getting blued. Chibi's ideally the best runner on like Mexico, and I feel like Chibi needs a more front presence, in my opinion. Which I understand is kind of hard to do in this game, and kind of just to do it every race is kind of mentally draining. But I think that's Chibi's role, is I would assume the captain of Mexico. But yeah, Draken, they're last right now. Trying to do whatever you can, I guess, trying to get Shock at this point. Pulling a build, not the best item. Like, we'll get him back into the pack. I have no idea what's going on anywhere else.
Yeah, well, I'll be spending some time trying to get the second POVs, as it is. See the other POVs have calls with, in their stream, but we'll try to get one without. But, yeah, Spain hurting here. And it's just what Mexico wanted, but of course this will give. I think it's Spain in bottom 3 here, correct? Or did we see?
I think it was a couple of Mexico.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it was a couple of Mexico.
Didn't catch that.
Huh. Opted to not chain his shrooms into the double.
Interesting. It's like, why not at that point?
Yeah, I feel like you're in 10th place, you're gonna get more shrooms.
Yeah.
Maybe a star even.
And like with third lap coming up and Mexico holding on to the Shock, probably he'll want to have something to counter that.
I think the pack's way too close for a shock. Definitely no
Yeah,
shock.
actually, yeah, no
pack
shock.
is way too
No
close. There's no
shock.
shock right now. That's why I was also curious why he just didn't chain the shrooms. 8th place box. Ooh. In this game, you never want to get 8th place box.
Yeah.
It either makes you cringe or it just makes you pop off. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
These shrooms are really good. If he can avoid
But you chain for more.
the
No, he's
spacing here,
gonna
no,
chill.
you hold these. Yeah.
But how much will you be able to do with it? I do see more shrooms ahead of him and bananas as well. That's actually Angel's.
Oh, the rescue.
Oh, wow. Angel does get onto another from Mexico, but does pay the price for it, I think.
That's a good Spain race.
Does seem like that's the case, right? No, yeah, it's all right. It's 2, 4, 5, 6,
yeah.
and then bottom 2. That's the thing that hurts them. Angel going for the triple banana play and does get onto a Mexican member, but the red ends up landing on him. Will cost him what could have been a more winning race, if you will. 3 races left. Mexico maybe starting the crawl with a 4-point race difference win. Down by 12. And of course, these are best of 3 series.
I'm excited to see what kind of changes Mexico make going into game 2. Whether or not they win or lose this one.
Yeah. To what degree is there flexibility, you would say, on both of these sides here? Like, generally, in terms of, like, substitutions?
I feel like Spain has... I feel like Spain
Deeper
is more
roster.
flexible. I
Right,
feel like
right,
they
right.
could flex in, like, DG. DG14 is really good. Mexico, I'm trying to think who they could bring in. I feel like this is arguably probably their best lineup.
Right. I think that's one of the things that was said about the roster last time, or at least last go about in their match versus Spain from the last World Cup, is that they didn't seem to be bringing in their bestest roster. This seems to be a level up on that.
Yeah.
And Spain is missing some key players that they would love to have.
Man, this Mexico roster is actually this is a huge step up from like their 2019 run. They got
Yeah,
third
yeah.
place.
And yeah, it's
So this
they
lineup
got
is way
third
better.
with that lineup. Yeah.
This lineup is way better than that.
And they still find themselves trailing after 9.
So we do see Chibi right now. Chibi literally is the key to Mexico
Yes.
winner. Chibi
Yes.
being in first is really important.
Spike's gonna play
Chibi's
really
such a
aggressively.
hard runner.
There's no way, no shot. That
Yeah, now
connects.
they hit it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh no.
Wait, no. Yeah, I thought so. Because like he still had the green from getting knocked, and yeah, you can hit.
This
it
is the
with
Chibi.
side,
I
but
know. This is 8U Chibi at its finest.
Let's run it, GB. It's big chilling with all the protection in the world you could ask.
Mexico
for.
won 3.
Yeah.
I like the option to go back there on the Nisk. Chibi didn't boot. Oh, he just stops.
That's so troll. That is so troll, but it's gonna pay it out and
Yeah,
work
that's-
so well for Chibi.
yeah,
Great
that's
play.
perfect.
Heads up play on Chibi's part.
And Chibi stopping where he stopped, like Spike had no time to react to that, like whatsoever.
Yeah. Well,
Did Chibi? Oh no.
no,
Chibi.
I don't know. Yeah, Chibi getting set to the Shadow Realm there. And now it's Spain with 1-3. Mexico can't afford to really be giving.
Mexico 2-4. That's not terrible.
Yeah. Oh, that snipe
One gets
connects.
sniped out. This is huge for Spain.
Top 2 for Spain. And you have to wonder, especially after this race with only 2 races left after it, and being able to have top 2 going into the course selection
There's
would
no
be
shock
a
either.
huge change of events for them. No shock, seemingly. Mexico eyeing from second to third. Gets the horn out, I think connects.
Yeah, it did. Top 2 for Spain.
And sends them off the track. Bill will come in at the end, but I do wonder how big of a race this could be for
Spain
Spain.
got last, definitely. Or
Okay,
Mexico got
top
last.
2,
Well.
5, 7, 9, 11.
Top 2 just single-handedly won that race.
Yeah. Wow. Top 2. And there you have it. It will be ooh. It'll be a plus 12 race there on Mexico's behalf. And things are looking rather grim here.
What is this, race 10 we're going into?
Race 10. It's a 24-point difference.
24-point lead?
Yeah. Not what you needed if you're Mexico.
Still totally doable.
Spain sweating a little bit less. That's got to be a little bit comforting for them.
It's definitely doable.
Yeah, super doable. Spain, they're so hopeful if they get this. You know, we haven't seen a game 3 yet in these quarterfinals. Actually, sorry, except for the USA Germany match.
Okay, yeah. That was last week, right?
Right.
Okay.
Last weekend. 98.
TikTok clock.
What do you think of the course selection for Mexico here as they try to
For Spain,
catch up?
it's great. For Mexico, probably not.
Yeah.
Usually in this game, most track picks come from your top spots. And the ideal is to always keep your top spots in top spots.
Right.
So this is one of those tracks that if Spain execute properly, they should be able to hold top 2. And usually around this turn is where you can kind of tell. Top 3 right now for Spain.
Yeah, able to move up there, maybe from a draft or 2.
I think Angel got rated out, but top 2 is still perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And now you pull a sound horn, yeah.
Yeah, you stop
I love this.
immediately with that. Does he catch him off? I think he does.
He
Yeah,
gets
it
one.
does.
Yeah.
Maybe the red 2 now, not quite. But that's still huge there. A big lead you see there on the mini-map already generated.
Spain is top everything.
Yeah, 1, 3, 4,
1, 3, 4,
5.
5, yeah.
Gwen is so important for Mexico's hopes here. He cannot afford to get on.
Nice back.
Ooh, nice back. And especially in a situation where, you'll have a lot of Spain members behind you to give up your protection for that. A bit risky of a move considering we don't know what 3-4 had.
Not risky. Very risk reward.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're kind of the only player.
You kind of have to go for the
Yeah, you kind of.
down
The
by like
stuff
20
you have to kind of do.
Yeah.
Especially with down 24 with 2 races left. You kind of just
2
have to go
stars
for
out for
place.
Mexico. No, sorry, that's a Spaniard star and a star for Kevo here on Mexico's side. Nothing quite drastic yet.
I think Mexico's just hard stopping for Shock right now.
Yes. Not successful with it. We saw Chibi go ahead and use
Blue
that
Shock
build.
coming in right now.
Mm-hmm.
This could be really good for Mexico.
And Marlon, I'm not sure what we're going to be expecting to see from these top spots here, but Mexico, over the course of the race, have been making ground, and they certainly need ground, but how much will be enough is the question. Bill coming in from right behind. I think that's a Spaniard Bill, so it will prevent Shock if Mexico does have it. For at least a smidget.
No shock at all. They would have it here.
Spaniard gets sent back from his shell, gets into a star, so no shock will be used on Mexico's behalf if they want to keep onto these spots that are so tightly contested towards the end here.
Interesting.
Should be a Spain in top spots from what we saw,
Spain
but that was
first,
a
I think
while
Mexico-
back. Top
top
three, and I think that...
I thought it was Spain backing.
I don't even know if it's mathematically possible anymore.
Top 3. I missed the rest.
Top 3 something.
Top 3 something.
And they were already down by what? 24.
24, yeah.
So if it's more than 18, 17, then it's just done. Which I feel like a top 3.
Top 3.
And then some mid spots change after
I got
that. I feel like it
top
is.
3 last, and I think it was like 9 something.
It is a 40-point difference.
It's tieable, drawable.
Okay, well, I guess,
I mean, we did see Spain top 6. So.
We did indeed. In fact, that race is the difference, I guess.
Spain just going for the baby park pick.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I feel like kind of hard to settle on what might be a certain race for a successful top 6. I mean, I guess other than the tracks that have already been picked. Some of them at least. Well, that's going to be the start to our last race here. What will it be, Mexico, is the question.
Actually picked baby park.
Got their pick, yeah. We're going to need it.
I want this to backfire like super hard.
Yeah,
I doubt it
honestly,
will,
no course selection has gone good for any of these teams. It's kind of nuts.
I doubt it will, because this is just one of those tracks where it's easy to just weasel into like top spots at the end.
I think ultimately it also makes it just kind of unpredictable too and hard to coordinate like the top 6,
Yeah, especially on a track like this. Like, I mean, at some point, I think Spain just needs like a top or a spot in top 2 to kind of just solidify the victory.
They literally just need like one person to just be like, all right,
just one person needs to weasel way into tops.
That's the hardest thing.
Not on this track.
True.
So the best thing about this track is playing it in lounge is just a fiesta of just nonsense and chaos.
Yeah, there's a little bit more, control in a war setting, but still insane nonetheless. We have on lap 5 here, Bill coming in past Spike, and Spike is now at the point where you're getting a little bit uncomfortable with staying back here in 10th.
So here is where the shocks come in if they have them.
Yeah, Bill activated by Chibi, I think, to at least right on cue with that. I think we just saw a Mexico member knocked back a little bit. You have to think, if you're a Mexico fan here, hoping maybe that Mexico isn't in a volatile spot, but I think it's not going to be enough either way.
Yeah, not enough. No shocks. I'm dumbfounded.
Yes. They were kind of getting close, but yeah, they just need to get rid of. It only took one, and in Spain's case, they had two.
So Spain goes up 1-0.
Congrats to Spain for winning the first game. It's a big, big thing to do. It's only 30 points that holds these two teams apart, really.
Angel owned and dragged. Go off.
How do you find the mentality of these two teams? If you know anything, if you have any insight on them, because
Spain, I don't know too much about. Mexico, their teams, one loss isn't going to shake them. They'll come back and they'll be fine the next war.
Fair.
Mexico's usually pretty
level-headed.
just lax.
Yeah, that's what you need in these kind of environments here, where it's going to be pretty big for these teams. Like in a best of 3 setting, it's like just a little bit different, you know, at least a bit. But as it is. Well, get off your phone, Marlon.
Check my notes.
True. Yeah, you have some notes on here. It's responsible viewing here, as we say. But yeah, I mean, as that is, it will be 1-0 to Spain here, and I mean, I don't know. Are you expecting a game 3? Were you expecting to go to distance here?
I am definitely expecting a game 3. I think Mexico. I wanted them to win game 1, to kind of give them that confidence, and just kind of 2-0. But
sure.
That's out the window now.
Yeah.
So I do see Mexico coming back and winning game 2. I think one thing I didn't see from Mexico enough was just front presence.
Right.
And that's something that's super important in this game, is just having that frontal presence.
Right.
I believe like most times we only see Chibi or just one Mexico member behind, like I have Spain 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so hard to.
It is.
It's so hard to pass 4 people.
Right. Like in those situations, it's just already basically GG at that point.
Yeah. So one thing I need more of Mexico going into the next match, just more frontal presence.
Please. Give us some bread here.
They have the runners. They have the runners for it. They definitely have the runners.
Yeah, they certainly do.
And they have Core making, like, Core's just, like I said earlier, Core's the pack player. So Core's going to go. If you've ever played Arcadia, they're probably one of the most frustrating teams to play in this game.
Yeah.
Because the way they use their items is just like, it's so tilt-inducing.
Right.
So Core's that kind of guy for Mexico.
You hate to be behind that player. And I think that's the thing, is that ultimately what that match came down to was Mexico had the same kind of opportunities and the good looks that Spain did, but they weren't able to do so as consistently.
Yeah.
They weren't able to build on it as much. And that was really the only difference, I think, just like being able to chain one good race into another.
And that too, another thing is very few races we saw Mexico just straight out win.
Yeah, right.
Most races where they got big races was because of shot.
Right. That's
and that basically means that they weren't in the front as much.
Which, you know, you would notice them getting up into the front. I think the one race where we saw Chibi up there was like probably one of the sole instances of that like really happening. So definitely we'll have our eyes on that to happen a bit more if you want to see a game 3. But all that said,
game 3.
I believe we're going to go to a quick break here. So don't go away. Game 2 coming in for what is a heated match here between Spain and Mexico. We'll get you guys sorted here in just a minute. And we'll be right back with Game 2, quarterfinals, Mario Kart World Cup. Howdy.
Hello.
So we're back from game 1. I think we're going to have a little bit before our game 2 starts up, but we do have some time to talk about, at least the actual teams. And sure, we just saw them right now, but we have some time to talk about what to expect from these teams, at least in general speaking. And I think, going into it, we talked very briefly on it, but I think there was some disagreement even just like on who might be the favorite here, right? So just generally talking about the matchup in these two teams, what do you think are the highlights, at least, let's say from, either side here?
So I'll start with Spain.
Yeah.
Spain did exactly what they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Spain needed Angel, Drac, and I'm blinking. Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
They needed those threes to like do exactly what they needed to. I think they had 103, 102, and 90 respectively.
Mm-hmm.
So arguably those are like their 3 best players in this lineup.
Yeah.
Spike, Suo, don't really know too much about them,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like they're in a different skill bracket compared to those 3.
Sure.
And I feel like they're trying to prove themselves as top players in Spain right now.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like the mid-pack players, sort of.
For sure. Yeah, and there's seemingly some more depth here to this team, I think, that does help them, I think.
But definitely Angel, Drac, and Miguel. If they do that again, Spain probably wins.
Mm-hmm.
But those 3 are usually the go-to guys when you look at just a regular Spain lineup.
Yeah. I mean, these players still at a top level for Spain. I think the thing that you mentioned about this Spain roster that's important to note is that they have the depth really to this entire team. That they're all really playing at a high level. And I think for Mexico, you don't see that depth quite as much. But what sticks out to the Mexico roster for you?
So the Mexico roster, I think I said it. I'm gonna talk about Chibi. Chibi gets it hard. Me and Chibi are good friends, so Chibi always gets the work. So Chibi, Chibi needs help. Chibi needs help, and it shows he needs help. Kevo's a pretty strong runner, so I want to see more of like Kevo and Ghost running this match. I think those two are arguably like, if we were just looking at like matchups, it would be Chibi versus like it'd be Chibi, Kevo, and Ghost versus Miguel, Drac, and I think that's the matchup, the key matchup.
Yeah.
As those are usually the more frontal present players, and I'm sorry, but Kevo and like Ghost, I think they have to step it up this match.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Mexico is just gonna get not rolled, but
I mean, like I think when you look at the Mexico roster and their group stage results, Kevo was performing well. With 2 MVPs on his side, did the best on their team when they played against France, at least individually for points wise. And Cocote is someone that's also shown up as well. So I think very generally, one of the notes that for Spain here, I think, and this roster that, but besides the World Cup is that they haven't really, apart from England, which is really their main test, hadn't been too tested beyond that, right?
Yeah.
And so, one of the keys for Spain is seeing what if Luisa will be in the back getting shocks for them, which it seemed like they were getting a decent grasp on. But
I think Spain won the shock count, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mexico had 2 shocks, but I think Spain maybe had 2 or 3. It was either even or somebody just slightly above.
Right. Now, of course, for Mexico here, they have a lot of, ground to make up here. This is now 2 matches in a row that you have to win, which is no easy feat.
It's not easy at all, and it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
Mexico could totally do it, though. I am super biased. Go Mexico.
Vamos, Mexico. Yes. I'd be happy to see them win, if possible. Being a Latin American myself.
They definitely can. I know a lot of people said that Mexico was underdogs. I kind of, because like that war, I can kind of see it. Just in terms of... a little. Just watching how like both teams handle certain situations. I think the funniest thing in the last war was just no track pick worked for either team.
Yeah.
I think they lost every single track pick that they had.
Well, I do believe we have our racers coming up soon here. And starting. But
no lineup changes or anything, or lineups
I don't
are the
think
same?
that's the case. None reported to us, at least. But who likes telling anything to the staff anyway? It'll be quite the matchup here
Definitely will. Definitely will.
And I'm hoping we can get the perspective from. Looked like Mexico's. Who was it? That was I think Cora was streaming. But hoping the stream comes online soon because it would be great. I think we get just the perspective on the two generally pack players. That would be really nice to have.
Gives you an idea of everything.
Right. Because that's the thing. Sometimes, I don't know, you don't really get a good viewpoint on everyone you could possibly get.
Should be good. Dual POVs are always pretty hype.
They are. We'll see if we can get them here. That's the ideal, really. But yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to discount, very much from Mexico here. I think what will be telling is the first races, really. They always are after a game one.
I'll break it down to you, a Mario Kart Wii player. It comes down to the first GP. The first GP, because we don't do GPs anymore. The first GP is the most important. Those first 4 races set the tone for the rest of the war.
Right. Yeah, they do. They super do.
The first 4 races.
I feel like in this game in particular, like spots are so much more important.
Yeah.
Way more important.
First 4 races set the tone because the first 4 races you're either tilted, or you're like, okay, we can actually do this.
Right.
So the first 4 races. The first GP is always the most important.
Yeah.
Besides the last one too. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they're all
first GP, last GP. I mean, if you want to break it down like that,
I think with the kind of narrative of like a series, that's the series.
In terms of momentum, the first GP is very important.
Yeah. So we'll see if they are able to turn up the heat as they do need to. They may need to at least.
And we probably don't know this information, but I think Spain hosted the first match.
Yep.
So Mexico's hosting this match. And I'm very curious to see like how quick they were to join the room because the first track pick is pretty important too. Like you were saying, the first track pick is important only just off the track picks alone. But it sets the tone for everything. Right.
It's more than that, and I feel like especially for Mexico, if you go down big in the first GP after a game and with a game 1 loss that you're facing on top of that, that's way different.
Yeah,
that's way different. I mean, I don't know how many best of 3s you've played.
Ideally, I try not to.
Really? You don't like? Yeah.
I think the last best of 3 I've played was not this season of MKU, last season of MKU. And
you're just not about them? Too much pressure?
3 hours of Mario Kart? Dude, I wanted to pull my hair out, and we lost.
That's the worst feeling. That's the worst feeling is going to like a game 3.
We clutched game 2 and lost the war. We lost game 3. Like,
okay, you can't be advising Mexico here because if so, then, jeez. That's just going to be a bit. I feel like if you have that, if you're backing Mexico, but you got that heat about these best of 3 series, you're not a good luck charger.
I mean, no, it's different watching. It's different doing this than playing.
Yeah.
Damn, we lost. I wasted 3 hours.
Yeah, for real. Well, we're going to get into it soon. It looks like our players are just about ready.
Ooh, TM. Definitely not. That's definitely a Spain track pick.
Yeah, super. Well, we'll find out if it goes Mexico's way here to start things off. Oh boy.
Chibi using his grandpa me.
Yeah.
Love to see it. I think it's foul me. Fouling ever the player from Mexico.
Yeah.
Or a Mexican player.
Yeah. Oh, okay, word.
Yeah. They're all trolly.
And speaking of just countries in general, you might be watching the Euro 2020. Might as well keep both up, or why not? I'll be probably doing the same on the side.
Dope.
But of course, we have a hell of a game 2 here. Starting off with Twisted Mansion. What is the, for Spain here? You said they were in trouble. Mexico might have been in trouble, but I'm seeing all Spain back here.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those tracks where you just pray to get shrooms and take the first cut. There's really like I guess the ending cut is a pretty big cut, if you want to consider it a big cut.
Yeah.
Definitely saves a bunch of time. So ideally, it's just praying to get shrooms in the first couple of sets.
And
if I had to take a guess, I would assume that Spain is first right now.
Sure. You see kind of Noso here, but everyone seeming to have at least some form of shroom. Move on up the pack.
The star is actually really good at having fifth, especially behind the shroom. So ideally, you want to save this shroom in case.
Coming in as well.
So nobody can see the blue coming in. This is interesting.
What do you think about the star usage there?
Generally? Well, he had to use it, otherwise he got Reddit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't miss that. I bet.
I think ideally he wanted to hold it for the cut here and then star in.
Right.
But because he was getting ready, he had no choice.
What happened to Mexico there? Must have ran into like a lap 2 banana or something. That's getting taken out there.
Mexico's still first.
First, but I think that's Spain right behind them. Yeah, so it's a bit of a cluster right here behind Canoso. Spain hunting. And for Mexico to get a great start here, Canoso will have to come in huge, but is losing a little bit of time here, it seems, to Drac, who is on their tail.
Wow, Spain stopped everything. Spike having these shrooms are really good. This is pretty much just a guarantee for
Yeah, it should be, unless, I mean, maybe back spam here.
Oh, the
bomb is so big! 2, 3, 4. Maybe Kevo able to come up at the very end, too. Yes.
1-3 for Mexico?
And a shock in the grass as well. Stars come behind. That bomb, and that saves the race for Mexico.
Yeah.
1, 3, 4.
Okay, here we go.
Big race for them. 2, 5, 6, 9, 10.
I was very curious. Canosa dropped the banana, and I was wondering if he had anything else.
Yeah.
And having that bomb was clutch.
Really was.
Especially in a game like this, double protection is very important. So having a banana and a bomb can usually block a lot of stuff for you too as well.
Right.
But in that case, literally everybody was behind him, so it was best case scenario.
Yeah. It just works out. It just simply does. Well, first race result. They got 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, and there was one other spot. Twitch chat, help me out.
No clue.
But a great start here. Well,
Very good start.
It will be. Mexico maybe looking to capitalize from here. I mean, sure, they got bottom spots, but certainly not the worst.
DKJ.
What do you think about this, having the top spots and bottom spots? What do you make of that? Is DKJ generally?
DKJ is a hard runner. It's usually ideally for like a 1-3.
Great for 1-3, but
there's a very early cut before the glider that, and if you get a couple of shrooms, you can kind of break a top spot.
I feel like the mid pack, especially going into these opening turns, can have a tendency of really slowing down a little bit. And
yeah,
maybe that's what they were thinking of, and maybe helping their bottom spots get up here.
So this track is a second killer, like, because between first and third, you just kind of get pushed. Squish. Yeah. So it's hard to keep a second place unless you take like weird, awkward lines and spacing.
Just like that, being second place, getting knocked out to the side will be the way we start this one off. Spain in mid to bottom.
So Mexico has to take their top spots, and on a track like this, they have to hold them.
Yeah.
These are like, you get your track pick. These are the times where you have to like keep these spots. And I think right now they're only first, which is not what they wanted.
Yeah.
Realistically picking this track.
And they have two.
We do see the horn at first.
Ooh, nice horn. Yeah, we'll have to use that to give at least some space here, but it's Canoso.
Falls off.
No, man. I mean, we saw in the last race giving up some room to Spaniards towards the end of Twisted Mansion, but we'll just give up first place just like that, and that's pretty heart-wrenching for Mexico.
Yeah.
And honestly, very fortunate for Spain.
I feel like the play with the horn was so like big brain, but I feel like he could have waited until after the super bounce, because I figure he messed up his line trying to do the super bounce.
Yeah.
Because he slowed down the horn. Definitely a Spain shock. Or maybe
Mexico getting into star dodge in third. I mean, I don't know.
Probably a Mexico shock. Yeah. I think Spike just slowed down knowing the fact that they had shock and was probably going to get TS on gliding.
Right. Yeah, otherwise you get pretty owned there.
Chibi in first, Chibi and Saya top 2. Mexico top 2 is huge.
That's not. No way. I refuse to believe it. Yeah, no. What? Okay.
Yeah, you got him.
Nice. Green does connect with Spike there, so that's going to be big for at least making sure Spain doesn't have everything behind first. 1-4-5 for Mexico. Spain and Spike looking to get ahead, but no, they're going to get damage on him from that star in Spain.
These res are actually really good for Mexico.
Yeah. Well, just throw most of them away. Star in as well as the bullet bills here. Will Spike be able to catch up? Spain having 4-5 here.
I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Spain right now.
Yeah, and I think might be able to. Careful for your teammate there. Job well done on Spike's part.
Mexico only got first. Top 2.
Top 2.
Oh, Canosa was up there.
Just held on to it.
I completely forgot about Canosa.
3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 being the race result. And they're back in it.
As they should be.
Yeah. Have the race results up momentarily, but there it is. Mexico's still very much big chillin'.
Mexico's in it to win it.
They certainly are.
these aren't like big winning races, but they're winning races, and that's kind of right
That's all
now.
you need.
Yeah, that's all you really need right now.
You just can't get top 6. That's all. Knock on wood.
Even after getting top 6 the last race, they still held their ground. Honestly,
yeah.
They definitely held their ground.
Yeah.
Most teams get top 6 and they just like melt down completely.
They just hard tilt off the face of the planet. Yeah.
Another Mexico track pick. Music Park.
Okay. Music Park.
This is a track that's starting to grow on me.
How come? It wasn't not as a why not? Why haven't you liked it before?
I never really liked it, but now I can actually drive it. So now,
Okay. Well, that's pretty.
It's
simple.
super runner friendly, and it's like it's not super difficult. Like once you learn the super bounce, it's a pretty straightforward track to like drive.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a really track to keep personal on, especially being top 2. I think Canosa and Chibi just draft off each other here. I think Canosa didn't get a full boost though, so I think right now just Chibi holding down the fort.
Current score being Mexico in the lead by 10 points. And it's a salvage for sure to be able to get to hold on to whatever spots they can for Electric Drum. Now, it will be Music Park. It will be, something that we are expecting maybe for Mexico to hold those spots as much as possible. I mean, especially with Mexico in these bottom spots, Canoso eyeing to get the shock maybe. Hold things down for the team. Multiple members looking here for the shock.
I wonder what Kev was planning or trying to do here. I understand they're like, wow. Okay.
We do a little trolling, I guess.
That's actually smart. Okay, this is huge.
Shock.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But it has the golden to kind of get through too. Mexico should know by now that they have shock. That isn't a shock for Mexico, is it?
No, it's a star.
Okay, good idea.
So the thing about knowing somebody has shock is people panic when they hear like other teams have shock. So right now, Chibi's just gone in first.
Yeah.
And
Spike's chilling. We'll get them after the ramps there. And now able to move up. We will see Nonstop moving up. But Luis Sao getting knocked out to the back here in Spain, holding on to 10-11. What will the rest of the pack look like in the wake of that shock? Blue Shell will be coming out.
so 4 people dodged, and I think at least 2 of them were Spain.
Yeah. That makes sense. Bill coming in from, if I saw that right, another Spaniard getting knocked down. Unfortunate for the Spaniards there. They might need to hope for, I don't know if they can get another shock, but it would be a good position here for at least Spike to be able to do so.
Oh, that rest super unlucky.
Gonna go ahead and start spamming
Yeah, he's gonna chain him.
for his life.
Doubt another shock
shrooms.
happens.
Is that
He
enough?
should be able to pass
It should
for
be
it,
enough.
actually.
Bomb
It should be
won't
enough.
connect. Oh!
I
I guess it isn't. Not the most ideal way to get into 7th place, but there we'll do it. 1-3-5, 7-8, 11. We'll end the race there for Spain. A winning race for them.
Yeah. Really good shock from Spain.
Yeah.
I know like Spike wasn't trying to get it, but that was actually a really good pull. Considering that Chibi was like gone by like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
After that shock, Chibi got blue too, so kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
that's the blue we saw at the beginning of lap 3 that ended
I think
up
he
doing
still got
that.
a decent spot though. I think he got like either 2nd or 4th for Mexico. So even after all that, to still get a spot like that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this goes back to what I talked about mostly going into the first war is that Chibi needs help up front, and I think right now he's actually getting it. So we're starting to see a little bit of better results right now for Mexico.
For sure. Well, we see Dolphin Shoals, the hopeful pick for the Mexico side. It won't go it.
Permanent plan slide. This track, I just don't know.
Please elaborate.
I just don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't sit right with me. Like every time I see it and I see teams pick it, I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
I feel like there's better tracks than this, in my opinion. But I mean, in terms of draftiness, yeah, and it's easy to run.
Hey, but it's chaotic, right? Because you have
It's super
1-3,
chaotic.
you have 1-3-5. The other team 2-4-6. Like, it's just as much of a thing in their favor as it is for you.
I get it. You want to get up front and you want to get up front early, but I guess 1-3-5. This is probably, in my opinion, I don't think it's a good track pick. But obviously, these players are way better than me.
Fair. Yeah, they might know something we don't.
Yeah.
Actually, they probably know something we don't.
I guess it's a comfort pick too, because I mean, I have my comfort picks.
Right.
Everybody hates my comfort picks, but they're
Like-
comfort picks. I love Animal Crossing.
Okay,
I think it's a very underrated
that's
track.
just toxic. Anyway,
It's a great track.
I'm just gonna ignore the comment. Anyway, end of lap 1 here. Spike with a single shroom. Able to maybe take top 2 here, although we'll have some company. Was that a Spaniard? I think it is. Top 3 for Spain to start this one off. Oh, the bomb as soon as we talk about it. And the blue shell as well. All of Spain getting obliterated here. And for Mexico, it's so fortunate, but the bomb snipe just coming out clutch so far.
Was that a snipe even?
Was it? I thought it was.
I think it might have been.
Oh, okay. I looked over to the screen and I saw a bomb and I'm like, that was probably a snipe. But you know, you're probably right.
I have no idea where it came from. So
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure that out as much.
Fair enough.
Huge snipe. If it was.
Let's just call it a snipe.
I mean, Spain was top 3, so I mean, I doubt.
Yeah.
I doubt they would drop the bomb on themselves,
exactly,
but misclicks happen as well.
Yep. Well, triple shrooms here for Spike. Not too far from the pack, but as soon as we say that, getting taken down, slowing down.
Blue shell coming in from last.
From last place, so. Eyeing the shock, of course. And, of course, the lap 3 shock can change everything on this track. Whether it will happen or not, well, more than often doesn't. But Mexico.
Spike going out his way for boxes could indicate that Spain has shock.
Spike moving up.
And if he uses the star here, then yeah. Most likely. No. I'm
Nothing.
wrong.
No. Oh, so I'll start right ahead of him. I'll try to use the boo here. Only gets the single shroom as a reward. And Spain in 10-11. Wonder if Mexico's in 12 maybe, but no shock is going to come either way.
He just shrooms into 6 casually.
7th, yeah.
Very curious to why he stopped for so many boxes. It felt like some of them were kind of unnecessary, but top 2 for
7-8-11.
7-8-11 for Spain.
Yeah. Well, that'll put them. I mean, they were already ahead just by a bit, but I'll put them by. Let's see, 18 points. Yeah, why not? We'll take it. Says Spain.
Still curious whose bomb that was. I guarantee I'll see it on Twitter later as a Twitter clip. It'll be on Twitter, I guarantee it. If it was a snipe, it'll be on Twitter. If it was a back, then it won't be.
Yeah.
That answers our question.
What's the play here for Mexico? I mean,
Get in the top spots.
I mean, for sure. I guess like course selection wise, you know.
Course selection wise, I forget what spots they had. They had a.
Let's see here. They had. Well, Mexico got top 2-4.
Mexico.
Sorry. Spain got top
Okay.
2-4. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, definitely Mexico's going for I would do Dolphins or ED. Something where you can get an early draft and just.
Hope for the best.
You're just praying to get up. If you're Mexico, you're just praying to get up front. And no, I'm not bashing
This
Mexico.
hurts.
It sounds like super bashy, but it's not. It's realistic. This is what needs to happen for them to win.
It's just what it is. Spain gets their pick. This could be so good for them.
Yeah, it can. Don't get me wrong. Spain's playing exactly how they need to play. I think they're arguably the 3 best guys on the, or at least in this lineup are
here,
doing what they need to do.
Spike, what's happening, bro? It's a single shroom for you. No backspam yet, but that's Chibi with a single green right ahead of you.
Just chucks it. Let's go.
I mean, it's red's going to
doesn't
bounce around.
connect.
How does it not connect? I mean, damn, all right. Well, that's going to be Spain in top 2-4. And
So Chibi's going to have to try really hard to break into this.
nice.
And
The drag
right now,
grab.
Chibi's just praying for a shroom, at least one shroom at this.
Yeah, just to be able to get through that cut and maybe make some headway. And if he doesn't, make some headway on that shortcut, it's really tough to get around the backspam on that first turns. Those first turns. Maybe Spike looking to play the role of bagger here. Can also, he's been scoring pretty well in this war, actually, but we'll maybe see him do the same role. No, it'll be another member.
Ooh.
Chibi, actually.
Yeah, so
decided to go
arguably
for
2
it.
of the best runners right now in this lineup are bottom 2 for Mexico.
Yeah,
Especially on a run-heavy track. I think Chibi's just going to stop for shock.
yeah. Chibi, the team player he is. Going for it, why not?
Golden.
That's just I just saw a star in Chibi's hands, right? Not a...
That was a golden. He was
Okay,
golden.
well, I can't.
One thing about this game is everything's gold. But
Yeah.
there's certain
Colors, hues.
yeah.
Oh, shock does come in. Okay. It will be Mexico in a star, so I imagine maybe shortly after we saw JB there, they might have ended up getting shocked there. Now Canoso moving up the pack. Mexico in a good amount of top spots here, and the script not going according to plan here for Spike, at least.
This is really good for Mexico.
Yeah. Spain in 3-4. You wonder who's first here. Could change the script entirely.
This fire is really dangerous. Yeah.
Huge
that's
on
really
Spike.
good. Yeah.
Mexico lands it.
It's so hard to dodge that.
That's a single shroom. Do you wait here? Do you hold on to the single shroom, or do you just go for it?
You hold the shroom.
Yeah.
Right, you just
He's going to say no and miss the item box. That's going to hurt Spike. Blue shell will come up. Bomb, does it connect? No, not quite, but it doesn't matter. Spike going to lose a few spots there. Okay, not too deadly at least. It was owned. That was holding it up. Wow, that's big.
Still salvaged a decent or solid race.
That was big
Decent
for them.
race.
They got 1-3 off of that. And so the course pick, at least in that sense, still goes their favor.
1-3 with a bunch of like middle spots.
I think they got 7, 8, 9, 10, I think.
Yeah, Mexico got
Twitch
bottom
chat,
two.
feel free to correct me. But if that is the case with Spain getting 7, 8, 9, 10, a little bit of a race win for them. We'll take that. Why not?
+4 maybe? Or +6?
You're right, 4.
4? Yeah. Jeez. Tell me you play Mario Kart without telling me you play Mario Kart.
Wow. That was fire. Anyway. All right. Interesting positions to choose a track from. I feel like this is one we might see a comfort pick coming in. Okay, Mario Circuit. GBM Mario Circuit. Interesting.
RMC is... Hot take.
Hot take?
RMC is one of the, if not most overrated tracks in this game.
Go off.
Everybody's gonna hate me. I guarantee everybody's hating me right now. Everybody's like shitting on me right now. Yeah. Super overrated track. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Why?
It's bad.
What do you mean?
It's bad. Everybody just bags, and it's just not fun.
Not fun. What do you mean? You're just. If you don't appreciate the fun on this track, you're just boring. I don't know what to say, Marlon.
Is this a sub?
I know I invited you to my house, but I don't know if I can do it anymore. Sub?
Is this a sub or?
We'll see in the race loading screen, but I guess I don't recognize.
Oh yeah, this is a sub. Okay, so Mexico subs
Cocote.
out. They sub out Chibi.
No way. Why?
Oof.
Interesting.
Maybe Chibi had internet issues.
I mean, the team in the back, but he was the one that gets shocked, I feel like, right? And I don't know. I don't know what to make of that.
Shout out to Mexico for having stubs on standby though. That's so hard to find nowadays.
Yeah.
To have somebody DC and somebody join the next race is shout out to Mexico.
Yeah, that's pretty huge to be able to do, honestly.
So I guess I can talk about Cocote for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, why not, please?
Since he's the new player joining in. So
I mean,
Cocote, I don't know too much about him honestly. But if I would assume, he's kind of like, I think he's a runner, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's one of those flex players who can kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I guess he's just subbing in the. Looks like right now he's just bagging, but
Yeah. Well,
I guess they just brought him in the bag.
we'll see what we're able to do here.
Or maybe he DC too. Crazy bill strats.
It looks like Chibi might have had bad internet, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be pretty damaging for Mexico here. I mean, we see them
Unfortunate for Mexico, but still doable.
Yeah, I mean, still doable. They have 10-11 here. Was Chibi in the roster for 2019's World Cup match versus Spain? I don't know. I just heard.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Chibi played a lot back then.
Yeah. Not what you want to hear if you're Mexico, but for Spain, you're popping off at the news of that. Especially with Cocote here in 11th place.
Very curious too to how this shapes up Mexico, because I'm pretty sure Chibi's usually their in-game leader.
True. Yeah. Well, they'll be racing for their lives, but those lives ain't looking too valuable right now. It's 9, 10, and 12 spots for... Oh, sorry, bottom 2 for Spain. So not looking actually too bad, at least in the back, but no vision onto the front just yet. What will Spike do to capitalize here? Triple Shrooms and a star coming up here. Mexico getting sent to the right as well, I believe. Gains the Shroom into the last double block set. Gets the Boo and Triple Red's great protection items of what to advance up there. Mexico getting knocked out to the left of him. Will he be able to connect? No, not quite.
Oof.
Cabo getting the spot ahead of him. 9th place for him. Mexico actually getting decent spots there, but it might be a race
6,
win.
7. That's a 12. I didn't see anything else.
Yeah. Didn't quite see everything there. That's just tragic. Well, didn't quite see the spots there. If they were able to get rid of first, it might have been so big for Mexico, and that would have been ironic, really.
Wait, actually, no, I lied. Chibi did not play in 2019. Kokote did though. However,
Oh, okay. He didn't play in 2019.
Chibi did not play in 2019.
Wow. Goes to show they actually maybe might be able to go off without him. Race 7 here approaching. The chances, you know, they aren't the worst for sure. 1, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12. Thank you.
Oof, RMC.
RMC is the call. Spain up by 22 here, so they're sitting a little pretty. But maybe sweating a little.
22 is not bad.
It isn't, not at all.
20, like, hearing like you're down 20, that doesn't scare me.
It's just like a tight battle.
Yeah,
you know?
It doesn't scare me at all. Anything more than 20, then I start panicking.
Yeah.
30 is like super panicky.
Yeah, 30 is like we're looking shaky here. It kind of depends on the race count, how shaky we're looking. 20s, manageable. 4th place for Spike here. A great line on the boomerang there.
Yeah.
We'll send Mexico back at least a bit. Spain in 2, 3, 4. I think maybe first.
That doesn't connect, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. Owen. Triple shrooms here.
Blue shell coming out.
Like ahead. Blue shell. Yep, indeed coming from behind way back in last.
No shotguns yet. Curious to see who's in first. We really didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, Drac getting set back 4-5, another person getting set back blue shell. What is happening, really? We haven't really gotten a good vantage point here, but it's Gwen now in second. And it's... That person is so gone. Okay, yeah.
No, it's not Mexico in first.
Oh, that Shockwave might be coming out. So it's Spain in first, but a lot of people may be dodging on Mexico's part. Yep, moving up. Chain the star there is Cavo. Luis Sao is one of Spain's only hopes here with Shrooms coming up, and it's all Mexico all day in these top 5 spots. So good for them. Spike, can you recover? Can you save anything for your team here? Owen getting set back to a bottom spot. Ooh, this is looking a little bad for Spain here.
I think that's top 3 for Mexico. I think.
That shock was really clean, actually. One of the cleanest shocks we've seen in the set. Top 3.
Ooh, but the 9, 10, 12.
The 3 bottom spots, though. That hurts. Yeah.
Top 3 is still a huge. It's like, that's the big one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure, yeah. And in a 22 difference war, that's all you need. Just a little race like that.
Yeah, it's literally a start.
Mm-hmm. Was that 9, 11, 12 for Mexico, or was that 9, 10, 12? I keep missing these race selections.
I think it was 9, 10, 12.
9, 10, 12. Got it. So get that updated on our screens in just a jiffy.
Shout out to Eric, by the way, the man with the plan for everything.
The man with.
He does it all. Literally does it all.
I don't know what you're talking about. to some varying degree of success. We hope you're enjoying the show out here, whatever part of time you are. Fun. Yeah, it's really it's what it's all about. And if you are having fun, feel free to spread the word of this pretty close match and close game here. Going into the 8th race. Mexico is still holding up strong, even without their in-game leader. Will we see him come back in?
I guess Kevo will step as the in-game lead, if I had to make a guess. Either Kevo or Cora.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like it's also easier to kind of IGL when you're like a pack player, you know? But
you can see a lot more.
Yeah.
You're able to see a lot more things and kind of tell people, like, you can kind of direct people better.
Yeah.
More than you can in front.
I feel like it's a really hard thing to do to be an IGL and keep up the same quality of lines you do in the front. So in that sense, it's not even really that bad, as long as they're able to keep the same quality of kind of racing at the top here.
Still haven't seen enough from Kevo, at least of him being in top spots.
You think? Yeah.
Usually when I play versus Kevo, he's just like dominating in like first, but
right.
I don't know what's up today.
We do see one of Mexico's players slow down with the boo, just hop in and be a little bit invisible there, trying to sneak into a bottom spot. Spike's seeing the same thing. Doesn't need the boo to say that. Triple shrooms and a star being the case. And so it does have a dodge if needed here. Great position to be in if you're a Spike.
Super early on, I don't think we'll see a shock. This is just one of those tracks where you see upwards to 2 shocks. It's a really long track, so I would be, after these builds, get ready to see a shock. I would assume so.
I didn't catch who the dry Bowser was, did you?
I think it's Mexico.
Okay, so maybe a shot coming in from them. Although Spain in a good position still to get
Yeah,
it.
it's Cote.
Yep.
I think
All
he's
right.
bagging now. Yeah, he has shock, by the way.
Shock for them. Watch out, Spain.
Very curious to when he's going to use this.
Spain's
yeah,
gonna.
use his chain.
Yeah, why not?
He actually might pull a shock here. Oh, no.
No shock for him just yet. If Spain just got it, their 11th place player got it. They probably would Spain. Yeah, they do. Or maybe that was.
No, that was Mexico shock because Core dodged behind him in the ghost.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Shock does come in. Well, will it mean blue shell? I don't know. I mean, I think if Mexico just shocked, a good chance they might be in first. Yep. It gets sent. Does that change how they slow down? Maybe no.
It's too late. You can't.
Yeah, especially with the bill right behind them. Blue getting. That'll take Mexico down a couple notches. Spain, are you able to come back here? It's 8th place for Spike, 6th for Drac, one of their star players. But a red coming on the Drac. That's going to knock him down just a bit.
Ooh, 8th place box.
Red shell does come on to Gwen. Will it knock? Yes, it does. Shroom to cut to finish this off, but I think Saya getting the better line there. Oh, getting knocked out to the left there.
Shell.
That green shell was huge, and Spain getting some of the middle spots here, but Mexico able to hold up just fine. And the bottom 3 is actually going to hurt.
Yeah.
2, 4, 5, bottom 3. That back green was pretty important, actually.
I don't even think that was a back green. I think it was just a green that was just
Yeah.
wall bouncing everywhere.
Yeah. That's true. Like that line is kind of weird. There's no way this is right?
Might be actually. That's it. I mean, bottom 3 is like huge.
Y'all, we got a game on our hands.
Or at least we think so.
At least we think so. I mean, I could very much be wrong here. A 2-point difference? Really? I must be seeing something.
Yeah, I think that's. Hold up. I'll look at the scores.
All right, please.
Let me see.
Do us the favor. Any fact checkers in chat?
Yeah.
Go off.
Let me see. Let me crunch some numbers. My guilty pleasure. Let's see.
It is 4 races left.
Oh, I don't know what GBDC was. That changes everything.
True. Yeah. I think well, if anyone wants to fact check us, please feel free to. But if it all holds up, Mexico only down by 2, it seems. And yeah, it was true. Mexico did play very well the last race, right? So, or the race prior, so it does make sense, sort of, in that sense.
So going into this race, Mexico's just looking. Oh, there's 2 job browsers now. Based.
Yeah.
I thought they were looking to back, but it looks like they're opting not to for the most part. I would assume that Cote would be one of their main baggers going into, at least when they subbed him in, like he was just bagging. We see Canosa back here, and I think arguably he might be the second best runner without Chibi in the lineup. I'm very curious to see what the game plan is here for Mexico. Do you see a shot coming in? Super early shot.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I guess why not? Especially if you're afraid about the other team. Blue Shell will be coming out already. Spike does get some benefit from that. I was a star in a great position.
Yeah, but it's probably just going to get ghosted unless he uses it now.
You probably just...
Nothing lasts in this game.
You probably just should just use it soon. But.
Or as soon as he's just going to chain here. Having the fire really doesn't do anything either.
No chain? Okay. Well, I mean, you're not going to get a very great item from this distance at this point.
Nah, he'll get shrooms. He chains it, he gets shrooms. Most likely. Or like triple greens.
I think he chains here, maybe? Or no? No.
I think he's just going to wait for another shock, honestly.
This is a bold play considering, you know, you don't generally tend to hold on to your item too long if you're holding it this long. Does use it for the shortcut here. Why not? We'll have to
if they have shock,
if they have shock, that changes everything. Gets all the fire on them. Why not? Spain, a huge shock on their part. 2-3 for them. Now, who's in first? Spike hunting them down. Mexico taking a star just activated in time, actually. Great reaction play from Kevo. And Mexico actually moving up the pack, too.
Kevo still kind of gets destroyed here, I think. Yeah, red passing.
They're both getting Reddit. These Reddits actually, no, just gets on the Kevo there, I think. Blue Shell is coming out now.
If that is Mexico in first, I mean, I think Kevo just gets first here.
Yeah. Goes through the cut. Spike. A red won't connect.
Oh, he ready his teammate, actually. It was Draken first.
No. Okay, wow.
I think that's still 2-3-4 for Spain. It looked like.
2-3 for sure. I don't know about 4 now. Yeah. Canoso going to be able to move up there in 2, 3, 5,
bottom 3
6.
for Mexico.
2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. 8-9, I think. 8-9, 8-9, 8-9.
Probably, yeah. Mexico got bottom.
Cool. Well then.
Your eyes are so much faster than mine's.
2, 3, you know what? What were the numbers did I just say? What numbers did I just say? 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9?
5, 6, 8, 9.
Yeah, I think that was it. Y'all, if you can't tell, we are, you know, in any fact checkers, we would appreciate the love. But if we do have it right, Spain up by 4. 371 to 367.
Honestly, I really want to see game 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially when
point,
it's this tight.
Yeah. I think this match is living up to like the expectations that people had going into this one today.
Sure.
I think a lot of people are very interested in this match because it's
like what else, you know? What
for
else?
Fair reason. And shout out to Mexico. They're honestly, without Chibi, they're still holding their ground, which is pretty impressive.
Well, what will it be? And just to be sure, was it a bottom 3 or a bottom 4 from last race?
Bottom 3 for Mexico.
Okay. So.
Same spike, same. I hit that same wall. All been there, buddy. You're doing great.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of a toss-up with this track.
Yeah, definitely a toss-up track. Most
2.
teams pick it. Just.
It is a classic, we will say. You know why not?
Definitely a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge glider strat at the end that I think most people take it nowadays. Doesn't save too much time, but it saves enough time.
Yeah,
and
like,
honestly, Miguel taking it into first, I think he just kind of broke away from Spike just off that alone.
Yep. Spike, happy to play the role of someone with a red shell and a green shell to protect their teammate.
I think he might have a horn.
Let's see. Yeah, horn does come in. No blue shell will be effective here. Red shell taken away by Mexican members behind him. But what happened? It's actually Spain on an island here in top 2.
Just breeze trouble. This just breeze trouble.
It could be really big for them.
Do you see Mexico in last? Koto going into a star. Signals that he might not have shock yet. But
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of dodges. I see just. I doubt everybody just has shrooms. I guarantee somebody has like a bill and a star somewhere.
This could be a match-winning race for Spain here if they're able to hold these top 2 spots. Not sure what separated second from third, but either way, it's making quite the difference here. Shock doesn't come out.
Yeah.
So you have to
Mexico's
think
third.
If Shock does come, it probably is from Spain.
Mexico might be able to sneak second. Oh.
Shock comes in, stars, build, everything. It's Mexico moving up at the very end. 5th? What
Spain
happened?
got top 3, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, top 3, 5. Yep. That might be it.
That might have been a Spain shock. I think they just shocked themselves in the boxes.
Yeah. That would make the most sense there. Wow, a big race for Spain here with only 2 races left to go now. And finally, the first massive lead we've had here. I mean, we talked about as soon as it hits plus 30, you're getting sweating. Well, Marlon starts sweating.
Oh, yeah, I've been sweating this entire time. Good thing I didn't bet any money.
Yeah, that would have been bad news. I should have taken you up on that, actually. you would have been so down, too. Ooh. Spain, you've almost got it. What will it be?
Pretty impressed with what I've seen from Spain, though. I think they've been playing the game exactly how they should. I think they've been running. I think they get shocked when they need them.
Yep.
I haven't seen too much pack play, really, from Spain, but it's either you run or get shocked, and they've been doing that, and it's just enough to kind of get them by.
Yeah. Well, Mexico have to have a huge race here. It's certainly possible. What do you think Spain's chances are in the face of a top 3-5 to be able to come back?
Mexico has to. They need a really good race here.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of like set in stone right now that they need 2 good races to win.
But like, especially even just like these 20 seconds.
I think they need right now. They just need a plus 10 or better.
I think in the right now, they needed to like at least hope for some decent items to maybe catch onto or shroom ahead of some of the
Spain got all the items.
Jeez,
Spain got all the shrooms.
It's only Lasso here, who is backing them in the match, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see.
Not the most fortunate, not the worst. Nice banana. Will connect, I think, with one Mexican player.
I'm not sure, but I think Mexico's just hard bagging.
Yeah. Which, I guess is the move at this point, but still, like I mean, especially with the start that Spain gets, it's so overwhelming.
I would have loved to see them run more. It kind of is giving me flashbacks to the Canada match yesterday versus Japan.
Yeah.
And Canada just kind of bagged the entire time. Mm-hmm. And when you bag so hard, you kind of just give breakaways.
Right.
Kind of doesn't. Happens, really. It's so hard to catch up the first, because if you look at the minimap now, like, first is just gone.
Yeah.
Like, unless you TS him and then, like, pass him with, like, a whole bunch of crap, like, it's still really hard to catch up to him, even with, like, dodge and shock.
TS really is target shock really is the only thing that gets them here.
Especially on a track like this. The TS spot is really long, so, like oh, last frame dodge.
Mexico looking good, at least at the start back there. I can't really tell who that was. Really. It's still Mexico here in bottom spots, but at least a shock does come out. It will slow down the room at least a little bit. Mexico getting taken down there by more backspin. Another red. I don't know what that was. It will be Spike, though, in 10th place now in Spain.
I think Spain's still first.
Bottom spots here for Spain.
Even the shock happened and nobody caught first because they were just so far gone.
Yeah, for real. Big question marks here. He will be able to at least take the cuts.
Middle spots, though.
4-5. If they are able to follow this up, it really depends. We'll see.
Mexico was first. Oh, Mexico went first. That was Cora.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Go off, sis.
2, 6, 7, 8. What were those bottom two spots?
I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
2, 4, 6, 8. The worst co-caster of all time by me right now. I'm kidding. I love you. And
period, sis. Period.
All right, what are those spots?
That's huge.
We need intel. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be straight up with y'all. No professionalism.
Yeah.
We need those spots right now. Please confirm.
Historically, Korea has loved that track, so seeing Korea like just gone.
Yes.
That warms my heart. Just do it again, Korea, please. Por favor.
Por favor. We need one more race for Mexico. We see the cheese land being busted out here. That was 2, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12.
Wow. Okay.
2, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. That's huge.
What is that? I think that's like 16, 18.
Oh, Marlon. It's a plus 14 race for, sorry, plus 14 overall for Spain. So it's still something of a mountain. But if they can do just that, again, they win the match essentially.
That's yeah. That was a plus 14 race. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Final race. Does Mexico have its cheese land? It's Spain's pick. That's so big for them. You got to be thinking that call is at least a little bit relieved.
So I don't even have analysis for this, so I'm just gonna start talking about random things.
That's all we got here. That's all we got here in race 12. Red shell for Spike. That's the only contribution he will have before big chillin' hitting that B button. And sitting back here for what will be not the most exciting lap 1. Maybe a slightly more exciting lap 2, but most likely a very exciting lap 3.
Yeah.
Getting knocked down a bit
If Mexico does get shocked this race, this is really good for them. They probably win this war.
Yes, and you have to imagine, I mean, that's the thing. We talk about just like going for bagging too much, but like at this point
you have to. At this point you have to, yeah. Especially on a track like this.
Yeah. It's the bill as well. That's big for Mexico. I don't know if Spain has at least another player back here to
look at the minimap. I just want you to
It is insane.
So the two Waluigis are in top 2 right now, and they're just like gone.
I wonder who those are. It'd be so great if we could know.
I would assume Spain. I see a lot of Mexico.
Yeah, at least maybe it's like one of each, you know? But
I haven't seen Cora, so probably Cora.
Blue Shell's coming out though. They have ample time to slow down if they want to.
Doesn't even do anything. I think you just take this.
Yeah.
That lead.
I mean, the fact that they don't slow down at all is, I think, just telling to me that they. Ooh, Spain gets target shock.
Is that a blue cancel?
A dodge coming in. Yeah, I think it was Mexico shock maybe with a dodge coming in.
Then that means Mexico's top 2 right now.
Okay, top 2
but
there.
There's probably gonna be another shock.
Yeah, they have enough time. Spain here certainly have enough time to be able to respond, and that's what at least Spike is thinking.
Star.
But Spike has to be moving here.
Ooh, the build right here for Canosa is really good as well.
Yeah.
This might be really good for Mexico.
Bill will keep it going. Doesn't get the item box, okay? So he's going to have to hold these shrooms. Yeah, it is fine. Yeah,
he just has to avoid these
bananas. Oh, gets pushed. Oh, my goodness.
Was
5,
that
6, 7?
Oh, Kevo had a ghost. Kevo was in a ghost with the horn.
Oh my goodness. Wow, what a huge play on Kevo's part. Star will come in for the right side from Spike. They have triple shrooms as well. Will this 3-4 be enough? He only gets Piranhas.
That's top 4?
That won't be enough. It might be a top 4 that clutches one out, but no. Spain coming in from the left.
Top 3-5 maybe?
Okay. The top 3 will be so important. What is it, Spain? What is it? Was it enough?
Oh my God.
Wow, Mexico with a big comeback. Top 3-5, 7-8, and they clutch it and send it to a game 3. So big.
Keep Chibi on the bench.
Hashtag bench Chibi.
Hashtag bench Chibi.
That's just deserved at this point. Wow. We are going to a game 3. Ladies and gents, and I have a little bit of goosebumps. I can't tell it's from the air conditioner or from the result of the race, but either way, it really was. My God. It's not too often you see results like that where it just goes absolutely in your favor, and you can imagine that the call environment for Mexico right now is probably a fiesta.
I believe one of them was actually streaming with call too, so I'll probably go check that out later.
That I can't wait to see that.
I think it was Canoso
streaming
with call.
4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. The final score being a 16-point win for Mexico in this match. Congratulations to Mexico.
What a shock, honestly.
Yeah, that's
all of them
big.
dodged the blue cancel. It was just perfect.
That execution on the shock was perfect. Knocking their middle spots back a little bit with the target shock and some change. Couple of dodges added into the mix there.
I think that's the very first time I've seen running cheese line actually work out for somebody.
Seriously. Actually though, they got away with it.
They decided to run cheese line and it actually paid off big time.
Yeah, it did. Wow, that was sick. That was so sick to see it. I'm so ecstatic, really, to see what we can see here for Mexico. I mean, we still see kind of the same problems though that you talked about after game 1, right?
One thing I did see way more than I saw was Core. Core had a way more frontal presence.
True. Because
it really proved to be what they needed those last 2 races.
I don't know if it was just activated because like he was like now the IGL kind of put in that position maybe, but like the first one we saw after like I think like 7 races or so, 8 races, and had like 40 points or something. Like, not that great, at least points wise, but certainly doing really good in this match. So
hoping Mexico can take this and run with it. Those last 3 races are probably some of the best races I've seen from Mexico. Their execution and everything they were supposed to do this entire time. They did those last 3 races and it kind of led a huge comeback.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder how much that sub does, right? Cocote coming in for...
It's a huge sub. I think he came in with the idea that he was going to be the bagger.
Yeah.
And that was his main goal. And honestly, it worked out.
It panned out.
It panned out perfectly. Yeah.
So, all things looking up for Mexico. Now I'm thinking about Spain. I'm thinking about Spain and like what that mental has to be like to go down top 3-5 like that.
I think Spain is probably going to sub somebody out. I feel like Spain's one of those teams where... I'm not sure. I don't want to speak for anybody, obviously. But
sure, yeah, but like, I mean, they have that depth, right?
Yeah, so. Spain has way more depth, and I feel like it's going to get to the point where they'll sub somebody out going into this next match. But I'm not too sure. I don't know who's available. I don't even.
Right. That's the thing. You know, these matches go on for a while, so I think in that sense, you kind of generally like naturally see subs just from the length of matches too.
Yeah.
So maybe that will just pan out and just come in either way, but. We'll see what comes into play here. The score is 1-1. I'll get you updated. That updated for you shortly. But don't go away. We have plenty more Mario Kart action to come. The next game 3 between Spain and Mexico, will be coming in at the hour as the players start around then. They get a little bit of time to chill, take a minute to breathe.
Especially after that, yeah.
Yeah, you need that. That's super in Spain's benefit. But I do wonder, I mean, what time is it in Spain now? It's like around 10 p.m.
What time is it here? 3?
4. Almost 4.
So it's like 10 p.m. I think.
Yeah. So maybe I don't think you get too tired at this point. I feel like the adrenaline's pumping enough, you know?
Yeah. I feel like Europeans that play video games, I think they're so used to staying up all night.
Yeah, you just kind of have to be.
I have so many European friends that stay up till like 3 and 4 in the morning just casually.
Yeah. They just have to. Well, I think that'll do it for now until game 3, but we'll be back, of course.
We will. Stay tuned.
Plenty more action to come. I cannot say it enough. Just don't you dare go away.
This is good. Good stuff.
An insane match to come ahead. Mexico, Spain. We'll see you soon. If I can get this timer to work. Come on. Do me a favor, computer. All right, there we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. I believe we'll be having our a third man you guys might recognize in stream chat coming into the cast soon. We'll have him set up in just a jiffy. But these players don't listen to instructions. And they're going to start the match as it is, which, you know what, fair enough. Let's just get into it. DK Jungle to start us off here.
So Spain match 3, they're hosting. So Spain track records.
Yeah, definitely making sense.
Oh, Spain was top everything. Holy shit.
Yup. Game 3 here. Marlon, you take it away while I get Rookie looped in here in a second.
All right, so I'm gonna talk first off right now just about what Spain needs to do and their mentality. Trying to see lineups. Don't think Spain changed anything. I think Cora was subbed out. I don't know who in place of. I doubt that Chibi's back. But now we see. 'Cause now I don't know who's the runner for, or the primary guy for Mexico. I guess in this sense it will have to be Kevo. And Kevo will have to step. Oh, what the? That's unfortunate. So I see Kokote. I'm just trying to read names. Spain changed absolutely nothing. Somehow that surprises me. I feel like Spain has arguably better players that they can put in. But I don't know if it's an availability issue or anything like that. But yeah.
All right.
Spike just trying to work his way up into the top spots or not. He's kind of stopping.
Yep. I believe we have Rookie on the mic. Rookie, can you sound off if you are...
What's up? Can you hear me?
Everybody's stopping, so there's definitely a shot.
Perfect.
All
Welcome
right.
to the cast.
To mention, I think Chibi is back, actually.
Is he? Okay.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
if my sources are correct. I think the source was Chibi, so hopefully he's reliable as a source.
I learned last night that Chibi is not reliable, Rookie.
I mean, that could be true sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
he has
learn
an
the hard
intent for it to be that way.
That's true.
Wow, did you see a bomb?
Did you see that shock? It's coming out here.
Spain shock.
Will be...
Mexico's top 2 right now, though.
Yeah, he needs to move if he's going to have any chance of getting up here. I mean, he does have a Shroom and Triple Green. It's not really the greatest items to be able to catch up, honestly. So it should be a top 2 held locked in here.
Wow, terrible items.
Yeah. Does have at least a horn to prevent any red, but it will be on moving up to 4th. Wonder who's in 5th, though. Nobody, huh? Yeah.
3, 4, 5 for
5. Why not?
Should at least be one person from Mexico in the top also if the dry
Yeah, they're
Bowser.
top 2.
Yeah.
And there's Chibi.
3 through 7,
So
12 for
he's
Spain.
back right now.
Yeah.
All right, so Ricky, I don't know if you've been watching like the last 2 matches.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been.
I caught the end of game 2. So here's the thing: I don't like the 3-person cast too much. So I'm gonna let you guys kind of do like the play-by-play, and I'll try to talk up in between the races. And stuff, talk about what we see
You do your
maybe,
thing.
if
You
that's
do your
good.
thing, Rookie. We'd love to have you on.
I don't
What
wanna
were
take
your thoughts
over
and
or
impressions
anything.
from the match we just saw?
It was interesting. It looked like Spain may have had this. You know, Chibi, arguably Mexico's best player, just out due to connection issues. And
Yeah.
already game 3, he's back, winning race 1 on his favorite track, I believe. So that's a new factor. You know, you give Mexico life, and this is the price sometimes. So that'll be interesting. And again, I don't know if he's still in. I think I see Kokote still. Kokote and Cora, 2 players who were actually in the... Or 2 players who are actually in the 2019 Cup in Mexico's defeat of Spain late in the bracket. It was cool to see them get a step up once again, really, because I think somebody must have had to been subbed in for Chibi. So
Yeah.
that's really cool, personally.
You always love that storyline factor. It does
Yeah,
come in
and on
huge
that
for-
last race, sorry, it's like on that last race, you know how Cheeseland is. When I saw Spike pull triple shrooms in a golden lap too, and there wasn't a shock yet, I was like, this may actually be over. And it was. So
Yeah, once I saw the
here we
blue
are, game
dodge or
3.
the blue cancel, I was like, wow. Mexico had shock, and they were like top 2 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they TS'd him too, so just everything going right there.
Actually nuts. Well, we'll see if the luck keeps going in their favor in that regard.
I had Mexico winning this, Ricky. I don't know if that makes me sound like a madman, but yeah, I definitely had Mexico winning.
I mean, I don't think it's really
I feel like it's
horrible
such a toss-up. This
prediction
is
or anything.
like, there's no clear
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah.
Probably
The
one of
sad
the
thing
closest
is
matches we'll see
obviously,
in a while.
Yeah, I think the sad thing is that Spain would probably have liked to have other players on their roster that they just did not get in on time, unfortunately. You can always use that excuse and stuff. But, you know, that was the story of Mexico in the past. In their last matchup,
that's always been Mexico's problem.
Yeah.
They're here now in Game 3, the most important time, perhaps, and Canoso second, maybe Chibi's still holding down first.
Yeah, I would assume Chibi's still first. So top 2 for Mexico. Let's get it.
It's not a guarantee, but you know how we used to cast 8U back when it was more driving and stuff. Chibi's first. I don't know if we see him losing first, so we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Boo does come out. At least has the red to maybe get on the Canosa. It does have protection for now. Does have the shroom. We'll have to play a little bit safe, I imagine.
Is that a red?
Yeah, I thought those were Shock does come out. I think just using the shroom
Mexico.
right before. No, I think it was Spain.
That's a Spain Shock.
He used the shroom right before it, I think, signaling that
that's
a build out going in.
They neutralized it at least. I saw Dry Bowser in a star at the very least. So
I think Mexico's still holding on to first just barely now. It's Spain in 2-3, but a world right behind Spike, and you have to hope you get some decent item to keep you up here. Shock, another shot comes in though. That's a bullet go around behind. It's Mexico responding with stars, bills. And my God, they are moving up just like that in response. No big deal. What just happened? Spain decimated towards the end.
That was absolutely huge, and that's what I was talking about.
Oh my God.
We're all sitting here convinced that we think that Spain used the shock. I'm like, well, I did see a Dry Bowser dodge, and Gwen potentially holding the shock while behind a star gets in on the Spain shock, maybe. I mean, we saw the shroom come in from a Spike, so you'd think that it was somewhat coordinated. Miguel owned. Shrooming up also, but a little bit of a reverse card maybe. Perhaps Gwen dodging with the second shock, and that's a top 4 right there.
Yeah. Ooh, that has got to be a really rough way to start for Spain. Like, I'm just thinking about the mental at that point. Like, coming off of the worst possible way to end a war, now starting off with one of the worst possible ways to start a war.
I think this goes back to War 1. I think War 1, all I talked about was what Mexico needed to do. And it was basically just starting with Chibi. Everything I said about Mexico this entire day has been about Chibi. But I feel like Chibi is the glue for this team. And Chibi's doing what Chibi needs to do. And now I'm trying to figure out what Spain needs to do. Because I like Spain's runners
starts with getting Chibi out, right? He's on 30 after 2. You were talking about him. And this track is going to do Spain no favors. But if I do have one thing to mention, I think this Spain team is mentally tough, a lot more than people may give them credit. I got to play with Owned or Miguel for a decent amount of time, and one of the best aspects I think with him as a player is he's able to shake things off really quickly and just focus on the mission, the objective, and doesn't typically get too flustered, I think, for the most part. Just got to focus on what's in front of him. He realizes that good mental game is important, and I think that's probably going to rub off on a lot of these players. Now, a lot of Team Spain didn't play together before the World Cup, but they're able to make it work. They obviously surprised us in the groups, and surely they're capable of still getting back in this. We'll just have to see. They got Chibi out, too.
Big important, but what Mexico has shown, contrary to everything we kind of talked about before this match, has been that depth. It's not, they don't need Chibi to stay up here. Cocote very comfortable in first place here. And Kevo to boot with it.
Mexico's top everything with Spike just looking back there. There's nothing but Mexican flags.
Watch out for these triple greens, though. These might be a little dangerous.
That was a very rough cut, unfortunately. Or not cut, but ramps, because he was going to have a great opportunity to get Kevo, one of the rising stars on Mexico. But a bit of a missed opportunity. Doesn't get it out in time.
Yeah, that's going to be getting knocked back a little bit in the 6th. Mexico, is that top 3? Maybe even top 4, I think.
It's top 4 for Mexico.
This is the nightmare scenario right now. The blue's going to help a little bit, but they may be top 5. The plant cleaned up one of the Spain members. And a blooper?
That's just... why? That's just such bad luck for him. All right.
Yeah, I mean, bloopers are so rare in this game. When we see them in wars, I like to call it a cameo. So you just don't see it at all, and he's just not getting anything that he wants right now.
Shock does come in for Spain. That's 2 dodges for them. 3, 4. I think that's like a full lineup dodging, basically. Other than
everybody dodging.
Spain coming up at the last second. I'm looking at the Miis on the mini-map and just trying to track the Waluigi's from what we saw on our screens there, but I think they actually managed to salvage
this is closer than I thought.
Oh, God, okay.
They may have gotten first.
I think Mexico still got first.
No, I still think Mexico's still
It's close.
We'll see.
Top two, yeah.
Top two. But a big shock. If it wasn't for that shock, that might have been a war-ending shock. Sorry, without the shock, that might have been a war-ending race. Like,
it's too early, but it could have been.
no, like, I don't know. Like,
No,
that could have been the dagger.
I'm with Iric here. I'm with Iric here. That could have been absolutely massive. Like, the last thing you want is a 50-point hole, and that's exactly what was going to happen if that race went uninterrupted.
yeah. Like, that wasn't just bleeding. That was like a hemorrhage. Or, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what actually is a hemorrhage is, but that sounds like pretty bad. So I think it's more than bleeding. Yeah, it was looking bad for a bit. But 3, 4, 5, 6, why not?
Cloud Top Cruise. With, where are you? 3 through 6?
Yep.
Oh, wait, no, that's Mexico picking it.
Yeah, top two is certainly helpful for Mexico
not?
still. Definitely not what they wanted, but hey, got to salvage it a little. I thought for sure that Mexico was going to hold first there because, you know, they were approaching the ramps at the end of the track. They do hold first. It looked like somebody may have passed on the glider, but maybe one of Mexico went under the radar and dodged with them. You never know. It looked like I mean, that was the best case scenario, really, because Spain really got up there.
Still to get to top two after that is like really good for Mexico.
Absolutely.
Mexico can run. They can hang.
They can hang with the big boys, yeah. Absolutely.
I think the underrated thing to really point out is like obviously Chibi's great player, incredibly quick player. You don't want to let him up front, but this Mexico team was able to win without him against Spain. Very solid team. So there are going to be multiple ways for them to win.
They were down 22 when Chibi got subbed out, and to bring that back, they were down 30 going into the last two races.
Yeah. Insane. Insane stuff here coming from the Mexicans. Nothing they can't really seem to do, it seems. Spain.
Top everything for Spain right now, it looks like.
Yeah. But the pack not too far gone quite yet. We're on the point where you start seeing moves being made to eliminate some spots. Banana Snipe doesn't quite land.
I thought he was going to hit Drac for just a second there, but didn't land.
It seemed like it was guaranteed for a sec. Blue Shell is coming in, though. Might be lethal. Looks like it's distracted for a bit, it seems. No, it doesn't quite actually end up being the case.
But did he get Drac in the end anyway?
I think he did, yeah. I wasn't going to say it. I didn't want to be wrong, but yeah, I think he did.
It looked like he did. This is getting very dangerous for Spain. It looks like Chibi's got the triple greens. Miguel is going to have to watch out.
Yeah.
Coin counter's looking kind of low for Spike. He's not in the best situation right now.
Yeah, and he's also
missing the item there, too.
Mm-hmm. Just in a rough position where he can't afford to go wide.
This is a big track when it comes to shocks. You have two major spots, so you can even mix it up. The first one's going to come up here, but I don't know because this pack is looking really awfully
Mexico's
close.
slowing down, I think, there too, as well. I don't know.
If you want to get really crafty, if you're in first and you're predicting an opponent shock here, you can actually sometimes time a fall off on the last glider right here. We'll have to see. I don't know who's still first, but if it's Spain, this could be
the snipe
massive,
with the boomerang. That's huge. Fireballs come out as well.
I don't even think there's a shock.
There's no shot going to be coming out to save.
There is none.
Yeah. Mexico, it's not. I don't know what happened there at the end, but
I think Spain was first. I know. It was
Saya being able to clutch that out. 3, 7, 8. What were the bottom spots there for Spain? 2, 3, 7, 8, and I messed that. Yeah.
It's what you need if you're Mexico. That was a lot of it is a lot of high spots at the end of the day, even if you still got 9, 12. So again, when you have a slight lead, nothing wrong with burning a race that is either even or maybe even slightly favored for you. So again, Mexico finding another way to get it done, 2-3 for Spain is certainly going to be helpful. But that was hectic. That was one of those races where the front really, truly never felt settled, even when Spain kind of had the advantage. Mexico had the 2-4 with Canoso and Chibi for a decent amount. So really interesting how that one wound up.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like there's a sort of rhythm to races, really, where like first lap generally sort of chill for the most part. Second lap is where you start to see that distancing. That really never happened. BC Bowser's Castle coming in for us here.
Yeah, this is a rare pick also. So
I said the same thing earlier. You picked it earlier too.
Yeah, Spain may be scrimming a decent amount, but it's very possible that they may not be super used to this track. Now, obviously, as competitors, you got to be ready for anything. But again, Mexico's like this track for a decent amount of time, so maybe very nice for them if they can use the extra experience to pull ahead.
Yeah, the comfort pick, as we call it sometimes.
Yeah, I think in a game with so many tracks and stuff, 48 is, I'd say, a solid amount. Sometimes you can find off-meta tracks that can work for you, and it gives you an extra edge. And it's kind of underrated to try more stuff out, because you never know what's going to hit.
Exactly. What isn't going to hit is that red shell onto Spain just ahead. They keep their mid spots intact. Four of them. I don't know what the picture is at for top 2 here, but looking dangerous. Dangerous now for Spike, getting knocked out by the green off the wall. Isn't too much damage, though, with the shroom.
Yeah, and that's the damage of having so many mid spots in a game like this also. You're not going to be getting hit by any thunderclouds or anything, but fire, boomerangs, triple shells, there's a lot that you have to be careful for, and that was an example of it right there. I think an underrated thing for Mexico is they had triple shrooms up there, they escaped, they got into third, and that's going to be big for them, except the shot. I don't know whose shot that was, actually.
Yeah,
I had no
hard
idea.
to tell. I mean, it got
Nobody
both
dodged.
Mexico members before the boxes.
Yeah, so they may be pulling in the top 2. Suo's coming up also, so they're going to have to watch out for that. But
Got to watch out here. The plants will not clash into anyone just yet. Greens do come out. Hard to say what the effect of that shock was just now, but
I think it got Mexico into the top. I don't know if it was their shock. I feel like it probably was, but Spike's having a really hard time getting out of these middle positions. I want to say he's gotten a decent amount of boxes and maybe not optimal spots, and it's putting him in some tough situations. We're going to find out who is in first. That is Mexico, but they chained in 5th. They may have defense for this.
Yeah, it certainly seems. Oh, Star being activated by Luis in 10th. No shock being activated. If it is it might be after the Star has run out. Nope, no, it won't be the case. Star does come in. Will he be able to pass a few members here or there? No, not quite.
I think that's a really good
This
race.
could be an opportunity. I think Mexico did get blued.
Top
No.
three.
Top 3, 9, 11, 12.
4 through 8 and 10. Yeah, that shock had to have been a Mexican one. We just didn't see anything really up top there, so it was hard to make out anything. But Mexico, another solid race.
Jeez, Mexico's coming out with the guns.
Well, the
They
weird
are
thing
slowing
about
down.
that was it felt like they had a lot of top spots, right? Because we saw all those Spanish members in the middle pack, and I think it was Kakode, maybe it was Gwen, I think it was Kakode, was able to shroom into third, and it looked like they weren't really it looked like they weren't really being aggro or anything. It looks like they may have had top spots, but at the end of the day, they end up chaining 2 people into the glider. Maybe they just took the trade and were willingly TS on their people. Maybe the person in first dipped down on the glider to actually dodge the shock and catch Spain over the gap in 4 through 6. You never know, but chaining is really useful for those members in the mid pack, and they probably got some powerful items that resulted in a top 3 regardless.
Oh, for sure. Well, what will the damage be here after this 6th race? We're approaching the middle part of the war, and Spain on their heels for this one, getting caught off guard by the start that we've seen. Now,
this is exactly why you don't want to give second chances to teams, right? Like,
it's you talk
what
about.
was the first match like? 30
the
to 40
first
point
match
margin.
was like close. It was close.
Yeah, it was really close
That's
the
the
entire
thing. It
time.
was like what was the difference? Like what?
I think Spain ended up breaking away at the end. I think they won by like 20 something.
Yeah, like literally.
So we almost saw a repeat, right? But Mexico just kind of clutched it in the last 2 races there.
Yeah,
It was
Mexico
almost a
clutched the
repeat.
last couple of races, and now they're just rolling.
And
Yeah,
the thing
now-
that we've noticed is like throughout both games, Mexico like struggled to hold on to like a first place generally, and like that was still the case throughout their win in game 2. But here we're seeing it entirely differently.
Yeah, and that's kind of the effect of getting a runner like Chibi back, you would think. Immediately, first 2 races, we're on 30, no big deal. And the point of view right now, a little bit of a shock battle, checking in on Kebo, making sure that they don't have anything. I'm not really thrilled with how Spike's been rolling boxes, but regardless, that's a big opportunity, especially on a track with 2 major shock spots. They can opt for the glider. Well, Mexico's going to see this shock, so they're going to have some awareness of what's going to be happening soon. Pulls the blue also.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Shock and blue about to come in.
You hate this player for Mexico.
I think they're going to go for the stairs because there aren't a lot of... there's pretty much no optimal item sets to get after. There's the dodges. They have the blue. We're going to learn some stuff here as well.
Oh, Mexico have a shock too as well.
No, I think that's a Spain shock.
I don't know if that was Mexico. I don't know if that was Mexico.
That's a Spain shock, yeah.
That may have been... Because
2 shocks in a row.
Spain used the first shock. They had to dodge somebody that had it. Maybe it was a surprise, but you would think that maybe they were just holding 2 by chance.
Yeah, but we see Spain back here. All of them back here. It's Spain bottom 3. No way.
They better have gotten top 3. They better have.
Okay, they're good. They're good. We were fooled for a second there. Rookie had it all figured out. We were all sweating.
I knew it. There's no way, right? Like, you use that first shock. The second one looked and appeared to be a Spain shock again, based on what... Because, like, if that was a Mexico shock, you would think that the guys in 10-11 for Mexico would have had it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like... I don't know. I was thinking, okay, they definitely helped their guys up front. Maybe ran into some unfortunate happenings in the pack. That could have been a salvaging race for Mexico, if anything.
I don't think they knew about the second shock, because if you look like at the shock, they all got shocked after boxes. If they knew that like Spain had the second shock, I think most of them would have stopped.
True, yeah.
A lot of them just drove past the double at the end, and they didn't get a box, which kind of blows, but I don't think they knew that Spain had the second shock. I don't think we knew that Spain had the second shock until it happened.
We did not. We did not. 32 points is what separates these 2 teams. And your favorite...
So again, we talk about
Marlon,
second chances, right?
Second chance,
talk about the second chances, and like Mexico's had a few opportunities to maybe put it away, but Spain luckily fawning away both last race and on
Spain has to
stadium.
take that and run.
Yeah, literally 2 shocks in a row. Yeah, just whip that up again, I'm sure. Well, okay. Last time we saw this pick, there was 1-3-5 for Spain, and they opted for it. This, I think, top 3 a little bit more secure, sound.
I feel like the same thing applies to 1-3-5 versus top 3. It's really just about spacing and trying to get those early drives.
Oh, for sure.
It's like I said, like spacing in this game is super important. If you're spacing properly, this is one of those tracks where like top 2 can break away easily. And then you have to worry about everybody streaming up at the end.
Yeah, the end of the lap for sure is going to be kind of indicative of what's going to be happening before any potential shocks. It'll set the tone, if you will. So we're going to see a lot coming up in a second.
Gwen gets dunked on there, I think, and the boomerang to boot with it to recover from that nicely.
So that boomerang from Kevo can actually be very massive right here, especially in this like tight turn. He could probably get like both of Spain's top 2 right now.
That was dangerous without Kevo's boomerang also. They had the top 3 set up. Miguelon getting the red off on, I believe, Gwen right before the cut as well.
Yeah.
There's going to be... Again, this is one of those races where the pack is just so close, we're just going to have to see how the cards fall. But, again, who's in 12th may be important also, but I wouldn't be expecting a shock right now. It's certainly possible, but...
No, there's no
especially with the ghost. The ghost came from the guy in the star, because we still saw him. So, I don't think there's anything in play right now.
You think it's Spain bottom 3? You think it's Spain bottom 3?
I mean,
I think Spain's bottom 2.
Did they hold top 2 is the question. We haven't seen Kevo recently, who would have been the guy to take them out.
Right.
But we're not seeing any spin outs or anything. That may still be Spain up there. And they need this really badly.
Yeah. Spike will try to get all the spots they can get. Fireball, not the greatest item you can have in 9th place of all things.
Yeah, he's just not finding the boxes in the appropriate place. Kevo's back here.
Kevo's
that makes me
11th,
think that Spain is up there.
Spain still must be top 2.
We might have a close ball game on our hands here. It's Spike in 12th. Well, we'll have to be hoping for items, but honestly, everyone will be just streaming up ahead of him. He won't have really a shot to catch up. Mexico in a lot of the bottom spots we do have back here.
Only one of the Spaniards really was broken away at the end, so I'm curious. Or maybe not. Maybe that's just Chibi. Somehow finding a way to just break away at the end there. I'm kind of confused as to how that could even happen.
Why is Chibi so
You can't let him up there. He'll find a way. He'll find a way.
He really just does. And somehow they still win that race.
Yeah, that was the winning race for Mexico.
Yeah. Insane.
I thought for sure. I thought for certain that it was going to be somebody on Spain that was still holding down first place, especially when Kevo was revealed to be in the back.
To the top two.
I'm just fucking.
I would have thought it would make sense if Chibi was still in second, right? And Spain got first, but he was first.
Right. Yeah.
No idea.
It would have made the most sense, at least. It's insane, really. It really is. And I think, going into it, it seems like Mexico is not going to let up like a single bit. They just keep fighting and clawing their way back into this race. Like the problem that Mexico has had in the first two races or first two matches somehow got transferred to being Spain's problem of not being able to find themselves in those top spots at all.
I wonder if Spain's just burnt out.
Yeah. That I wonder.
Who's fresh right now? The guy who missed a lot of game 2. 70. I think on 75 points, maybe 76. He's got an entire race win on the rest of the field right now. Chibi will be proving to be the X factor maybe in this game 3.
Chibi went to go pop a monster and came back.
Yeah, I mean, if they go on to win this game, we're going to be talking about that game 2 stand that Mexico made down 30 with 2 left for a while, because this was Spain's opportunity to avenge that 2019 loss.
Pretty impressive Mexico right now.
Yeah, that's a top 3, maybe top 4 actually with Kevo as well. And Mexico also has 12 under lockdown right now, so Spain is really not finding themselves from favorable spots whatsoever.
GB with the triple bananas here too, like he can actually just kind of control like Spike and not let him pass at all. This is really good stuff.
You have to watch out what Kevo may have behind the shroom. That could be very big. You never know. Looks like it was the same pole that Spike had. Spike's going to have to be careful here.
Wait,
Angel!
Not careful enough. Apparently.
Spain needs shot.
I was not expecting it to go down that way.
The last shot we saw, I feel like, was when Mexico was like in real top spots. They ended up managing to have a salvaging race.
Spain was just in a bill also, so I don't know if it's likely that they I feel like it's more likely that Mexico would have it right now. The pack is starting to get a little bit closer as well, too.
And we've seen how well executed these Mexican shocks have been, like very consistently so, too. That's been one of the most notable things about this team so far.
Yeah, they're absolutely setting the pace.
Anything in last. Like the Jai Bowser in last has not used a single item.
That could be a sign.
That's Mexico also. This is big if Miguel
or it could be blue. Could be blue.
Find something. Yeah, that's true also. If it is blue and they get double reds here, they actually have a window to do something. Oh, he got aggressive.
Owen has to watch out. It's a tight battle here. Boomerang comes in.
Goes for it.
Wow, that goes up and then ends up hitting. Does that convert for their top 2 for sure?
It
top
was a blue hold also.
Wow.
So that's a bottom 2 also for Mexico.
Yeah.
They still salvaged that though.
Yeah.
That's not bad. 3, 4, 6, 7.
Top 2, 5, but still a big race. One of the first times we've seen like a strong race for Spain here, at least in a bit. So
very curious why Mexico didn't throw the blue when they got hit out. It kind of took. There's kind of like a delay.
Took a bit. Yeah. Maybe delays in comms.
Yeah, the thing about the blue hold also is that's the blue holder's worst nightmare. Yeah. The other team is 2-3. They get the reds and wait until the very end where they can hit them out and there's no time for them to even punish them as the result. So again, and the thing that was brutal here is like I think that player that held the blue for him ended up either finishing one spot behind or finishing ahead of the player in first. I think it may have been Kokode. I'm not sure.
Wow,
but yeah, he went from first to bottom 2, I think.
Yeah, Mexico got bottom 2 in the last one.
That's brutal also. It looked like he backed to green before going down, so he may have even had to fence and was just getting a little bit greedy. Regardless, like you guys mentioned, a lot of middle spots still for Mexico. They're not making it easy by any means whatsoever, but it is a start for Spain going into this third GP.
Mm-hmm. So to speak.
So to speak, yeah.
More races.
Mexico's running.
They are, but I mean, it's now less than a 30-point lead now. And
yeah, I would definitely not count Spain out.
Nerves.
Yeah, definitely don't.
I feel like nerves certainly a factor here. One more GP to go on this one. Can Spain start something of a comeback here?
I would say this is a good track to make that happen as well. There's a lot of different ways to win on Dolphin Shoals, whether that's running, maybe bagging for items such as the build. There's a lot of good spots here. There's a target shock. There's some glider strategies. You can really find ways to really win regardless of where you are at any point in the race, and that's what makes it so interesting at times.
It's one of the most interesting tracks in my opinion.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like
you
the
don't want
shots
to
that
limit
come
yourself
so
on the ways that you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
win when you're already down 24. That's why I get scared about bagging tracks sometimes. You know, on that last race, I was a little bit scared for Mexico in Game 2 because if Spain pull a shock, they can find somebody to dodge. It's possible they just win right there because they don't need anything more than just, like, not losing by 20. Mexico finally kind of got the lottery roll that they were hoping for, but we'll have to see. He is stuck, or Spike is stuck in the back right now. We don't have a lot of, I guess, information on the front. We know that Mexico is holding down a lot of the middle spots.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I mean, he has a teammate behind him. Maybe it will opt to start going forward ahead now. Star activated by Mexico, both Mexican members
Yeah,
here.
Lewis Sal's going to get back up there with this bill.
Yeah.
So pressure may be up. Well, he's holding it. That's weird also because this is a really good spot.
Yeah, what?
Blue is coming in for Spain, I want to say. I think it's only Mexico back there.
He's still holding onto this bill. I'm not sure what the reasoning is.
He has to use it here now.
Are we
I don't
just
think
missing something?
that
Like,
they have anything.
okay, there we go.
I don't think that there's a shock. I just think that Spain has good spots right now, maybe.
Yeah.
Really good
Well, it's-
spots at that.
This is a really good race for Spain.
7, 8, 9 for Spain. Maybe bottom 3 for Mexico.
I believe they had the top spots also. So this could be really close.
Okay,
Top
top
two,
2,
5,
5, 7, 8,
11.
11. Winning race for sure. I don't even think they have a 20-point lead anymore.
I think it's single
The race is
digits
really
probably.
weird.
Well, maybe not single digits, but we'll see.
I'm surprised Mexico
Certainly
didn't, like,
we'll get
back credit
close.
for shock when they were bottom 4.
Jesus.
It is a little bit of a head scratcher, but it looks like the thing that may be why you're seeing Lewis Al holding
That
that
makes
bill
sense,
right
yeah.
there. Just they have information. They know they have the top spots. They know Mexico doesn't currently have it. Why not hold our bill, hold our star for the end where they may actually have the shock and make it so that you have to choose, let them front run or let them dodge. It's a win-win situation for Spain, truly.
Yeah. 10 points
Wow.
is all that separates it. And it's Mexico's match to lose. We'll go into the 10th race here
Are
with
they going to tie?
a
You
what?
would truly
No.
hate to see a Mexico lose here after they've been in such control of this match. But if you're Spain,
Yeah.
this is what I was talking about earlier. Mental toughness. You can't be giving up. World Cup, first one in 2 years. The revenge arc is right here for the taking. You just gotta go out and execute. You got your track. It's a big opportunity.
We've seen throughout the set these teams struggling to convert on the tracks that they selected on. And
I think this is a
what-
top 4-6.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Red does cut us off a little shortly there.
Bacon trail Chibi here.
Oh my God!
Chibi's so massive.
That's Sound Horde getting onto, I think, all of Spain's top 3 spots?
Yeah, but then Chibi fell off.
Okay, God player.
The stream
what
lags for
can
me.
I say?
I didn't see anything, and then I just hear you guys going, "Oh my gosh, what did Chibi do? What did he pull? Did he have it
He's down
after the
top 3 and
shroom?"
he fell off.
Sound Horde top 3, they all fell out, and that just eliminated everything that Spain at least had going for them there in that moment.
I mean, he
That was huge,
falls
though.
off. That's game changing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it literally is. Now we have no idea who's up there, but we do see a Dry Bowser, a few Dry Bowsers up there.
If I had to
Yeah, the
take a
Dry
guess, I
Bowser
think it would be
homies doing us
Mexico.
well. Yeah, there's Spain in 7 through 10. If you're running the numbers, it's pretty likely Mexico's up there right now. And I don't even think they have the shock either.
No shock.
No shock.
I don't think so either.
Chibi coming out of build. That would probably be the only shock potentially even in place. All right, Spike, you gotta. Oh no, he's not getting a ton of
He has
boxes.
to.
Gotta
All right,
hold
we have
the
a
star
great
into the
viewpoint
set.
of what's going to be happening in the next
Oh,
few.
Spike, you got it. Yeah, that. Oh, and he gets only shrooms. That is brutal. And this may
This
be
just tells
a
me that
really
Mexico
good
is top
response from
everything.
Mexico.
Like, going so hard
yeah.
for shock.
I think they are.
No
and
shock
only one chain
either.
also. The cycling of boxes has proven to be a little bit of a problem.
Blue Shell came out at the very end too.
I mean, I think that's a hold, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
now they get shocked, and it
that is
won't
just
matter a
slap in the
single bit.
face. That is actually so rude.
It's only top 2-5.
3, 4, 6,
Yeah.
8, bottom 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, it's not what you're looking for if you're Spain right now. I mean, 3-4 is nice, but you only get 2 more to work with, and that's certainly
And
not
bottom
going to
2
help
on
the
top
cause.
of that is just so hurtful. It's a 24-point difference going into the last race.
Wow.
Or, sorry, two more races. 2 more races.
Yeah, two.
Some more time. I'm scared for Spain. It feels like this is kind of like do or die for them right now.
They could totally do it.
Like, I know Spike was definitely going like, you know, it was a good cause, right? You want to go for shock, so recognize that your race may be over there, but
Right.
I don't think there's any business for you to still have that shroom and banana so close to the set. You just need to walk up to that set with no item at that point, roll the first one, sit in it, roll a second item, roll back, and you know, if you had 2 more rolls, maybe the shock does come at a more opportune time instead of last set when the race was already over. That can be the difference sometimes.
Alrighty.
Well, personally, I'm happy to see not desert, but we may not avoid it forever. But this is looking pretty good for Mexico again. Obviously, Spain not wanting to deal with many running tracks right now. Mexico has really flipped the script, as we've mentioned a lot.
Totally. I was just about to say that. This is like the first time I've seen like Spain get outran today. Like this entire world, like Mexico's just been top everything.
Can they hold it up is the question.
They truly had it on TikTok clock also, but Chibi's horn
Yeah, the
just
horn was
ruining
massive.
everything.
Even if fall off was the biggest play there. Now, I mean, Spain looks like they're able to come back up into top spots here. 1-3-5.
The shrooms are big if he can get out of here without taking a hit. Obviously, you would like to be able to hold one for maybe the blue after the cut, but I don't think you can risk it right now.
Yeah.
Angel is a bomb. That's
Okay,
actually
with this
big.
bomb,
That'll
yeah, this
create
is
some
huge.
space for them, too. Blue, though. So the bomb play is going to be coming soon. Expect some split paths here. I don't know if he threw it forward.
He did.
Yeah, he did. So it's not going to be as useful as you may have ideally liked it to be, but I still think
This
it
could be
helps create some
dangerous.
distance.
This
Yep,
is dangerous.
for sure.
He's only getting a single.
Rough around the
Holds
edges,
the
but
defense anyway, though.
yeah, still gets the banana. Looking strong enough at least to ward off some attack. Ooh, gets the back spam. That was bold.
Oh, the nano.
And then what
There's
did
a
he do himself?
banana there.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty much
Doesn't have the
canceled,
item.
though.
Yeah, it was. Doesn't have the item for protection now. Mexico moving up as well.
I see
Spain
Angel
your
and
top
Blue
two.
Sal, though. I don't know whose shock that was, but I think it was Spain's.
Might have been
Should
Spain.
be
A lot
still
of Spain
kind
came
of
up
up here.
after.
Yeah.
Yes, that finally Spike cycling, getting 2 boxes is desperately needed with Chibi right on his tail, and that's going to be
Yeah.
the difference between him holding
Top 3
first
for
and not.
Spain.
Wait, really? Oh my god. Okay, we're going into the last lap in Spain. I mean, this is exactly what they needed. Only 2 races
yeah.
left.
Yeah, I don't,
Angel behind him. Top 3. Top 2 for sure. Maybe top 3. Do we have another shock coming in play? Probably not. The distance between first and last not being too big.
Yeah, it's so close. The only thing that looks certain right now is Spike and Angel holding on to this top 2, but they need a little bit more.
top 2 is definitely a start though.
Yep. Green back tells me third place. Maybe he was there. Yeah, that's a Drive Hauser in third. Mexico taking it.
Man,
Another. That's
What else did they get, though?
top 2,
Top 2, 4, 8, 10, 12. Okay.
All right, that 4th is going to help,
yeah.
but that's still not ideal.
Yeah, the 8 and 12 like getting last doesn't help.
At all. In the slightest. It hurts a bunch.
Yeah, you're
All
looking
right,
in
down
a
by 16.
pretty big race. Pretty
Down
big
by
race
16.
required here.
Hey, you know how much
You saw
Mexico was down
something
by
similar.
going into the last race?
14,
16.
right?
Nope. 16.
16?
16, yeah.
16.
They're gonna tie.
All right. I mean, I'm,
You think
I'm
so?
all
You
for
think so?
What
overtime.
happens if they tie?
no
Is it
shot.
just another GP?
It's another GP.
Oh man, has that happened before? Has that? I don't think I've seen that happen before, but
I wonder
Would
if
be.
Mexico's going to go a bagging track. They have a big decision to make.
yeah.
I feel like they should
Lewis
go
Sal's a
bagger. I feel
player
like that's
that's
not the
known
right call right
for-
now.
Wait, really? How come?
I feel like you don't go bagger last race when it's close like this, and like I don't know. Anything can happen on a bagger. I like the ribbon rope pick though.
I don't know. Like they did well on it last time, but it is a high risk.
Spain DC.
DC. Oh my god.
Oh no, dude.
Wow.
Who is
that?
gone?
Essentially, like for Mexico bagging, that's so strong for them now.
And
Oh yeah, this is a huge pick now for Mexico. Now, this is a ribbon again, kind of an all-purpose track, but a lot of people may see it as an all. Oh, and Lewis Sal DC too,
Okay,
and that may be the best bagger they have.
Oh wait, they closed the room.
Yeah,
Okay.
They closed the room.
Respect.
Okay.
I respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be. I'm not sure. I don't think the rules say they have to close, but
No,
if so,
you can't win
maybe
like
the
that.
biggest homie move in World Cup history.
I
allowing
mean,
this race to be played out 6v6.
yeah, I'm about to say, like, I don't know about that, right? Like, we'll see
Yeah.
what happens in the group chat.
I was gonna say also that like Ribbon Red's like a big race track. You can win it by running. You can win it by coordinating a shock. You know, there's a massive gap at the end of the track. That's just begging to TS people sometimes. But
Yeah.
65, you want none of that because those options are both against you in that situation. Wait, hold on. Is Spain hosting?
Spain
they
is
are.
hosting.
Spain is
Yeah.
Was that a legal room close?
I think it might be, but
Hey, rookie, you wanna mute me your mic and find out?
To be honest, not to be.
I mean, you don't have
not
to mute
really
your
to
mic.
be
Go off
honest.
however you want to, but wow.
I mean, I don't want to make a call on the cast or anything. We got some World Cup staff.
I mean, I've definitely
surely
just
online
discussed
watching.
I've definitely just discussed whether we penalize people or not with Aiden before. It wouldn't be a first.
I mean, this is like this is the first room set, right? It was. I think it was not a consensual room reset,
It was.
which may matter.
I mean,
I
telling
suppose I
about
don't know
the
the
three
entire-
question marks telling about the 3 question marks should be posted. I don't think.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's as easy as unplugging your router. You can still record it and say you just DC'd.
I mean, at the very least, like there are 30-second rules that still need to be obliged to. So
Yeah.
True.
we'll have to see.
So that means Mexico has 2 through 7.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a clip here to prove.
Clip rule would possibly, clip rules in play as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see, but I am wondering if that, because the nature of this disconnect feels
Yeah, it's
very much like a potential we're closing it because Lewis Al's not here.
Right.
Once the room is started, the host must not close the room without consent from the opposing team. This includes the host disconnecting. In the event of an abrupt room closure, the host must record a clip or recording of themselves being disconnected or an error code appearing. In the case of a gray error code where a clip cannot be captured, a picture of the error is acceptable only under that circumstance. If no clip or recording is provided, the hosting team will receive a 20-point penalty. If a player or team consistently does not provide proof of their disconnection, they may be banned from hosting, yada yada. If the room is closed without consent, the hosting team must give the opposing team 30 seconds to join the room before their non-hosting players may rejoin. Failure to do so will result in a 10-point penalty.
And 10 points is just a lot. Right.
I don't know. I did not watch the room joining process here, so I don't know if Spain immediately joined. Surely the chat will probably be able to help on that.
Well, chat, you got any info? If you do, send in your tips.
What are all these me's?
The worst part is one of the Spanish players was using like a chibi me, like for a ton
it
of
threw
the
me off for the
match also.
longest.
Yeah. Races that begin with 10 players or less due to disconnections will not count. The room must be closed and reopened, but there was 11 in there.
Is it a minus 10 or a minus 20?
It's a minus 20 if the clip rule is not followed,
Okay.
meaning that it needs to be proven that it was a disconnection. It's a minus 10 if they don't do the spots after the... So again, I don't know if Mexico, like actually consents to the room closure. So we'll have to see. I don't remember who was host, but hopefully they have a clip.
It doesn't sound like it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
think
like if they didn't follow either of the rules, like -30 takes them out of this match.
Has Danny PR been in this room the entire time? No, right? Yeah,
Danny
this is
Pro.
upcoming,
I don't
yeah.
think so.
Danny
They may have
Pro,
said
yeah.
Lewis out for a DC. We'll have to see.
Moo
Moo Meadows is interesting. I'm guessing this is a Spain pick. I don't know. Do you guys see?
It was Mexico because they're 2 through 7.
All right. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Now, this is a track that's notorious for like almost no shocks. And again, I was wondering if Spain would pick it because there's no shocks. A lot of times people see it as like a potential +40 option. So, I don't know what the teams are thinking right now. I'm kind of just rooting for Mexico personally to win without like penalty and stuff. Makes our lives a lot easier. But we'll have to see how it goes.
Chibi just caked walked his way in the first. I think that's a Mexico top 2 or 1.
Yeah.
4, 5.
Is Chibi
I mean,
a
if you're-
shroom? No, that's a coin. Okay. I don't know what I saw.
If you are either of these two teams, you just have to save the VAR replay for later because right now you can only focus on movement. It doesn't matter what just happened in that disconnection.
That red
You
is
have to set it
huge.
aside.
Angel should be taking first right now, which is a big storyline.
Oh, that's got to be big.
I think Mexico has the 2-3. Now,
Ooh, gets knocked up.
things are looking kind of good for Mexico just because they have like mid spots right now. Because getting in the back of this track, you're not going to have a lot of coins. And that makes it really hard to catch up on. Spain's going to need a lot more than just this, I think.
Oh, the bag.
Taken out nice. Great item there to get hit by. And now Spain in a lot of bottom spots here.
Somebody got hit out up front, and if the numbers game adds up, I feel like it may be Angel. You gotta watch out for Angel right here. If he's out,
that is Angel. Yeah, I think Mexico just wins it.
Mexico just wins.
Wow.
I think Mexico has this. There's so many Spain back here. I think that they're going to have it without penalty regardless.
Yeah. And it doesn't
There's just
matter.
too many
It
of them
just
back
simply
here.
doesn't matter about the disconnect. Mexico
think
just
they got top 4.
clutches it.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5.
5, 12.
What a big
2-1.
Wow.
The semis go to Mexico.
That was the biggest middle finger
Yeah,
of like.
that's a big FU.
Yes. Oh my God.
Uh-oh. May have a name
Uh-oh.
thing happening right now.
I saw that going really bad.
I could have gone like.
Regardless,
I could've
like,
seen that
thank
going either
you
way.
for the point of view, of course.
Yes.
Always gotta shout out the players for giving us perspective.
Shout out to Mexico.
Shout outs to Spike for honestly letting us cast this in the
Yeah,
first
all
place.
3 matches too. That was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, I mean
And-
that was a lot of good MK right there too. I mean, obviously
really
it's not the
was.
result that he was wanting. Obviously, Spain probably feeling like they have more to prove. I think that scoreboard may be more than reversed. Oh, never mind. Actually, no, that's a final score.
No, I'm
don't
trolling.
think
I'm
Spain
definitely
won
trolling.
that.
Yes, yeah.
There's no way it was a
marked the
12-point
wrong.
win either.
6.
It was
I
16,
definitely
right?
marked Spain as getting top 5. Excuse me.
Hold
That
up.
is simply not
I can
the
do some
case.
quick math. That was a plus
I don't
20.
care.
That's a
I don't care.
44-point win if it was 16, which means it will be
Plus 44 overall.
14
Yeah.
to 470 in favor of
470.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Should be at least.
Wow. And I guess
So yeah, that was a great match.
that was, in terms of when we like to see Mario Kart being played, that match is like definitely one of those instances
Yeah.
of good Mario Kart.
I think that was an all-around good like series.
Yeah, for real. I mean, what can we say, really?
Not much to
No.
say.
Yeah.
Now we didn't get the 2-point margin back from like USA and Germany, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But the underrated factor of this match is just Mexico looked to be down and out. Chibi was out of the room, -30, down 1-0 with 2 races left in War 2. They find a way to make the impossible possible. Play a solid game 3. Pretty close matches the whole way through for all 3, if I'm not mistaken. So good
Yeah.
stuff.
Mexico kept it close the entire time.
Yep. Getting it
Yeah.
done, moving on to face Japan in semifinals.
And yeah, honestly, it is a real pleasure that we got to see that. Mexico, now they have to, a huge challenge in semifinals, right? Which, sure, can be pretty devastating to play against, but, we've seen them turn up before. It wasn't, in the last World Cup they played in, they made a huge, play to be able to get to third, and we'll see if they can do it again. I think
Yeah,
that's
I mean, technically, if you're not I think there should be a third place match because that's just traditional for World Cup.
right.
Especially if it's single elim. If you're doing single elim, I think there should be like maybe a best of 1 third place match. We can figure that out later. But if there is none, this is at least back-to-back podium finishes for Mexico. in a sense, proving that they were right, or it was right that they got top 3 last time.
Yeah, and for them to come out like that swinging, especially in a group where, I mean, I don't know, they were placed in a group with France, and that was like a rough place to be. They did not fare too well against France, and only came out with, I think, a plus 100 difference in like second. So to come out like that, and be on the same level as France in response to all that is sick. It's sick that they were able to turn it up in the elimination stage, which, in bracket stage, you just tend to have teams turn it up like with the stakes on. And, Mexico backs against their walls. They were down 1-0.
That's what big teams do.
Yeah, big teams. Apparently Mexico's one of them, which, they let us all know by now.
I came in today, and the first thing I told Eric, because apparently Ricky had said that Spain was the...
Right, yeah.
I was like, really? I was like, I thought Mexico was just going to straight up win.
Yeah.
I mean...
Seeing Mexico do their thing today was
what you said. Good teams good teams win when their back's against the wall.
Yeah.
It looked for a second that Spain just about had it, didn't close it out. And good teams take advantage of opportunities that are given to them.
Yeah.
And Mexico definitely did. Big shout outs to Corey, too, because he stepped up big when Chibi went out.
Right. Yeah. No, honestly, like the ability for Mexico to be able to make that huge sub call in absence of Chibi.
I think I talked a lot about Corey today and just how he's a pack player.
Yeah.
But when he needed to run, he dug down and he got gritty.
Damn.
That's what's also really cool about Mexico, because their run in 2019 came without a lot of their top players. And again, this wasn't just Cora subbing out like just any player on Mexico. Chibi's one of the most notable players on the team. Like that's a big. Those are big shoes to fill, and he did that absolutely in game 2.
Yeah, he did a great job. So shout out to Cora for that.
Well, any last comments on this match? I think that is the last Mario Kart 8 match we're seeing for the weekend, which, I mean, the bracket matchups we have is Japan versus Mexico, if I'm correct, and
Japan and Mexico and USA and France.
Which, I mean, geez, what can we say about that matchup? That'll be both these matchups.
I've got some things to say, I guess, about those matchups. Got to hype it up a little bit, Now, Mexico had an awesome run in 2019. The only thing that was sad is that they didn't quite get their hand at Japan. I don't know if they've ever played Japan. I'm trying to think of a Japan-Mexico matchup. Like, do you remember any?
No. I think the last time Mexico or LTA got close to like Japan, they got like hosed by France that one time.
Yeah, I'm looking this up. I had a World Cup file that is updated through 2019, so I'm gonna find that right now so I can get the actual date on this.
The wizard.
But, yeah, because it also is very impactful for the other match that we're going to be talking about. Japan has played Mexico once in it may have been 8U, maybe it was 8D, and it's Japan. They won. So there's that. But Mexico falling just short of getting to play them in 2019 because they drew France. It's always a tough draw. Got them again. Tough draw again. But they will get their chance to maybe show. I mean, with Canada, they were very close yesterday in game 2. You never know. Like, they may be able to get it done, surprise the world. I mean, even if they get one game, that's awesome.
It's huge.
But we'll see how they do.
We rarely see Japan lose.
And like you mentioned, United States and France, right? What can even be said about that, right?
It's gonna be a banger.
I'm just gonna say it. I believe that USA, France, and MK8 is the greatest rivalry in MK World Cup for at least MK8. Yeah. They've played many times. A lot of saltiness in those rivalries. Lots of wanting to prove that they're better. Of course, France. It started in 2014. USA had like a 100-point comeback in the 12v12 era, and then France handled them in bracket. 2015, Toto gets billed in game 2. USA goes on to win. There's a sweep by France the next year, and then in 2017, USA swept France back. And I don't know if they played after. I'm not sure if they did, but in total, I mean, France, that they're definitely going to be favored to win that match. USA does hold the all-time, head-to-head at 5-4. And there's not a lot of like roughly even matchups, when it comes to like game counts that aren't just like 1-1 or something like that. So it's gonna be a fun time. I definitely expect France to probably win, but I would not sleep on this USA team. They are very solid, and they've gotten better as the cup has progressed, I believe. So we'll see how it goes. Don't want to miss that one. Don't want to miss Mexico, given they're all against Japan as well.
For real.
It's going to be a banger.
It will be.
Bangers, bangers, bangers.
Speaking of bangers, I think we have another Mario Kart World Cup match happening right now. I think France and Peru for Mario Kart Tour. So if you're interested in that, I think that's on at Mario Kart Central.
Yeah.
And then tonight, US North versus US South for Mario Kart Wii, facing off in quarterfinals. Australia upset them, and now Australia's in semifinals somehow.
I don't even know who to root for there. It's my country regardless. I mean,
yeah.
I guess we're going north. For me, but we'll see.
It's some of the top seeds in the tournament playing in the first round. It'll be the winner. The winner goes on to play England which is they made it to the finals last time. So yeah, looking like it'll be a spicy one. That's an 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, if that's all we have for now, then I think we'll go off and end it off, and why not host Mario Kart Central. Marlon, thank you for joining me. Big appreciation.
And yeah, I mean,
always, brother.
Mario Kart Central looks like Peru's actually upsetting France right now in one game, so it's gonna be good.
Ooh.